Engage.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Winners Don't Use Drugs, brought to you by Engage Gaming, episode 117, in crystal clear clarity. As you can see, there's somebody missing. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I'm sure you can guess. So it's going to be me and Nolan tonight, and Zach, probably. Zach?
Maybe.
What's up?
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
Oh, you're introducing me to talk?
Yeah.
I thought you were just monologue time.
Well, you know, I'm going to be pulling double duties tonight, so
Yeah.
I got to make up for theirs. But yes, he's not here. He's a little under the weather, so let's give him all the positive energy and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he hung around the truck stops.
Yeah, he had to make a little extra money, and he
Told him those girls weren't worth it.
he says, "Nah, somebody's got to do it.
They have that name.
Might
for
as
a
well
reason.
be me." No, he got the con crud from the convention we went to last weekend.
Yeah. Somehow we dodged it, I guess.
Yeah, hey,
And you rode with him the whole way home.
I know. Hey, I ain't complaining,
Dodged the
baby.
bullet.
I know, right? Hey, I'm
It's because you had that steroid.
Oh yeah. I'm getting pumped full of steroids, so it's got my immune system.
Everybody was like, "Oh,
Yeah, can't nothing mess with me now. But that was a good time. Saw a lot of cool stuff,
yeah."
and some of the cool stuff you can see right in front of us. So Zach found his badass Super Famicom in box, and Super Mario World for the Famicom as well.
And Super Metroid.
And Super Metroid.
Super
That's for his
Metroid,
personal
yeah.
collection, though.
Yeah.
This is for us. This is for everybody. The Metroid, just for him. It's surprisingly how cheap that was too. I know a lot of people over here don't have like nostalgia towards it as much as they do as the American versions, but still.
Super Metroid, I had to pay a little bit. I think it was almost as much as the console.
Really,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. It's a classic game, man.
it's true. It's
And then,
a
but the
game.
Mario was cheap.
Mario
Mario
was like-
games are based off of it now, so
Yeah, they are based off of it.
so
aren't they?
many.
Yeah, they're called Metroidvanias.
I was just about to say every Metroidvania can root itself all the way back to that
All the way
game.
back.
Super Metroid.
It's a classic.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Super Mario World's on what was it, $30?
Yeah.
Super cheap.
For
how
complete
much
in
was
box?
the Famicom?
100.
100, yeah. And then the titles that you see in front of us, we actually did some exchanging, some bartering
Yeah.
for those.
Nice guys next
So
to
that was
us.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to those guys. I can't
They're
remember.
Sanctuary Games in Lafayette.
There you go.
There you go.
Appreciate that. Oh yeah, so they had a whole bunch of cool stuff there. Like there was a lot more video game businesses there than I thought there would be. But they had
Well,
so
wouldn't
much.
In that con basically, like, I know it was RetroCon, but when it like game based.
I don't know.
I think it was all things though.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say that they were looking for more game?
Yeah, like that's why I thought they weren't going to have that many because the post back in, was it December?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was November. They were saying they were looking for more video game vendors, implying that they didn't have that many, but they actually had a decent amount,
They had probably
they
like
did.
6 or 7, maybe something like
if
that.
not more.
Yeah.
Much.
But the cool thing was too is there were a lot of them there, but they all seemed to have different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good variety.
Yeah,
I think we were the only ones that had a big selection of current gen.
yeah, that was out. Yeah, which is actually
Which
that was,
I don't think I remember seeing anybody have PS5.
No, I think it was just us. But there was this one guy. He had pretty much all his stuff was imported.
Yeah, his whole thing, you
Yeah.
couldn't read anything on his table.
It was so cool.
That's where we got the Super Famicom.
Yeah. They had some nice stuff there. So if you ever get a chance to go, I think they're doing it again later this year.
September.
Yeah, September.
14th and 15th.
It's in Morgan City,
Morgan City.
Louisiana.
Small little town in the middle of a swamp, but it was cool.
Yeah, it was nice. There's a lot of cool stuff. We
All
prepared
the restaurants close at 9 apparently.
Yeah, so or either they're already closed or they just don't
Already
exist
closed.
anymore. They got turned into tire shops.
Apparently, we dodged a bullet. That Mexican restaurant that we went to, was actually the Mexican restaurant that our buddies were warning us about that had like peas and carrots in their rice.
Oh,
and
it was
stuff.
there?
It was that one.
I thought it was the place across the street.
That's what I thought
That's
too.
what we thought too.
Oh.
So we should have tried the place across the street.
Yeah, she just went over there. Next time.
Wow. Okay.
We ended up eating Waffle House because Old Faithful.
Old Faithful Waffle House.
And it was open.
It was open. That pretty much kind of narrowed it down.
8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Jesus.
Dude, it's crazy. I think Macintosh has stuff open after 8 o'clock on a Saturday night.
On a Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. So, but yeah, I was surprised how many folks. I was surprised, but it was nice to see how many folks were there.
Oh yeah, and then
They had a
people
good turnout.
Yeah,
really
and then
good turnout. And,
people wanted to spend money too.
And folks were there to spend
Yeah.
money. Yeah. Because I mean, I remember, they opened the doors. And, everybody, first guys come in, always kind of just do the rounds, kind of see where everything was. So, like, the first 15 minutes or so, I was like, oh, okay, hopefully somebody buys something. But when it started, it just kind of just kind of kept going. So, that was
nice.
cool.
Yeah, we definitely we had our fair share of sales.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I was worried that we weren't going to make what we invested in it. But
Oh, you did that like the first, half hour?
no, I wish. No, it was probably the first half of the day we did that.
Yeah. We definitely do it again. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know if I want to drive all the way out there again.
That's a big drive. I think next time we should probably take like a
It actually wasn't that bad. I mean, I'm used to driving like 5 hours to Atlanta, so 3.5 hours ain't that bad.
it's not that bad. It went by pretty quick.
Okay, so it's not that it was bad. It's just like once you get out of New Orleans, it's like nothing.
Nothing, yeah. So it's like
On the way over, it was Silent Hill.
oh yeah, it was very foggy because we left.
So when I was hitting that stretch of road, the fog hit just as I got
Really?
to the end of it. And so by the time y'all got there, the fog I'm sure was it definitely was Silent Hilly.
that bridge you cross, like it like you come up on it like almost immediately because you can't see it because all the fog. That was some creepy shit. Like I just felt like Godzilla was gonna come from the side, like just attack the bridge.
Yeah, but no, it was a good time. Did you see the guy dressed up as Master Chief?
No, I didn't. See
No,
that.
I didn't see that.
How did y'all? Miss
I didn't
he was like
see-
7 feet tall.
Oh no. Yeah, I did see him.
He
Yeah,
walked right past us. I took a picture of him.
oh no. I'm
No,
thinking
I
about
saw
Batman.
I saw a stormtrooper.
I saw a stormtrooper. I saw Batman, the really tall
Stormtrooper,
Batman.
But the Master Chief walked right past us. Y'all must have been selling stuff, and I was
Must have
over in
been.
the Nook.
oh yeah.
And
The crevice.
I saw him. Yeah, I saw him when he walked by, and I was like, "Hey, can you mind if I get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So he stood there with his little gun, and I took a picture of
That's
him.
awesome.
It was cool because he must have had like a microphone in his helmet because when he spoke, it came out of the helmet.
Oh, that's badass.
that's
Him. I talked to him and the stormtrooper too. The stormtrooper didn't. He was like when he talked, but the other guy you could hear loud and clear because he must have had a mic in the helmet. But I saw folks asking him, was like, "How do you see out of that helmet?" Because it looked like a Spartan helmet and everything with the visor, and it was like, "Oh yeah, I could see right through it." So yeah, that was cool though.
If you want to take your cosplay up to the next level, put a microphone in the helmet. You're automatically gonna get points for that.
Yeah, I saw Samus, not there, but this girl dressed up as Samus, and her armor was just like ridiculous. It had like lights everywhere, and she had it in the gun to where it would like change color.
Ooh.
So this was like after Prime came out.
Right,
so it was
right.
like, she had the different colors for each gun. God, it was cool. It was the gravity suit.
Gravity
so
suit.
with the
Yeah.
rounded edges on the shoulders, and I was like, oh,
Women get it done,
awesome. Yeah. Now if she could roll up into a ball. The person that has a Samus outfit that also can somehow they can transform themselves into the ball. That would.
Well,
be
they
amazing.
got those the Transformers costumes.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Like if you lay down, it looks like a car.
like cars.
So they might be able to do it. They might be able to do it.
Might be able to if you read all the lore things in Prime.
Yeah.
You see the space pirates are trying to recreate her suit and everything that it can do, and you.
There's a lot of death.
One of the ones you read is them talking about trying to imitate the morph ball and how many space pirates died. It's like, how does she do it?
It's Chozo Tech, baby.
Super flexible.
Yeah.
She's very flexible. You know? That's why everybody likes her. Anyway,
Yeah.
we had a good time. Like I said, if you get a chance to go to it, if you're in that area, whenever they're doing it again, go to it.
Yeah, 100%.
I spent too much money. I only bought one thing. So
I only ended up buying one thing too.
yeah. Or you kind of got talked into that one.
You got a big item.
I was thinking about it already.
Yeah.
You got a discount too, didn't you?
Yeah, ended up getting a little discount. So
Little discount poop.
not so bad.
Steven got a big item.
I got big items. I got
a couple big items.
Yeah, well, see, if you started it, it was your fault. You bought something like 10 minutes in.
Oh,
He was in it. He
It
saw
seemed like
it.
every
and
hour
like,
he was coming back with
yeah,
something.
bro, I'm telling you. I was like,
so
that
first hour, yeah. So it's funny because I bought the Super Metroid Japanese version, and he's like, man, people come to these. They ask me all the time if I have Super Metroid, and I finally have it, and I sell it before the convention even opens.
Yeah, that's right. It wasn't even open yet.
Yeah.
He bought it. We were doing our rounds before it placed open.
And then I got the Game Boy game. That's what it was.
Yeah.
The Metroid Fusion.
Yeah. I saw. You remember the guys that came over shooting the video over in front of the consoles?
Okay. Yeah.
I watched their video Monday while I was doing some work, and I watched it.
They completely cut us out.
And no, it's still in there. It was only like half of whatever they shot was in there, but it was definitely still in there.
Is that the one where they were arguing with each other? Like the dude wanted to be on camera the whole time?
They cut most of that.
Yeah, it's understandable.
They cut most of that out. But I didn't realize like the whole other side of the building. That's where all the cosplay and stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And
Like the
I
artists
never
and
walked
stuff.
over there, so I saw it in that video. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I walked over there once and then noticed there was really nothing to buy, so I'm like, I'm out of here.
Yeah. As far as I could tell, it was mostly cosplay, and there was another theater or something. That's where they did the cosplay contest
Okay.
and everything. I think the girl dressed up as Geralt won.
Oh yeah, she looked badass.
You know what I loved? There were at least 3 cops there both days. The same 3 cops. It was 2 guys and a girl. Those guys were having a ball.
Oh yeah, they loved it. They were smiling from ear to ear.
They were smiling the whole time.
Yeah,
They were just looking around. Now, the first time I passed them by, they had some kind of patches on their left arms, like Spider-Man patches or something like that. So I didn't think that. I thought they were in like cosplay or something.
Right.
So I looked down at their hips and saw real guns, and I was like, "Oh no, these are cops."
These are the real deal.
I hope
right
they
now.
are at least.
Oh, trust me, I'm sure they volunteered for that assignment.
Those 2 especially, because the girl, I won't say she didn't have a good time, but she didn't.
Yeah, what you trying to
she
say?
didn't look
Though?
as amused.
Saying
by
girls
everything
can't
else.
enjoy all this nerdy stuff.
I'm just saying she particularly didn't just look as amused as the.
No,
as,
you're right.
as those
She
guys
did. She did.
were. She smiled and saw folks walking by in costumes and stuff like that, and she seemed nice enough. But those guys, they seemed like
they were into it.
They were into it.
In it to win it.
We also tried, for me personally, it's probably one of the best burgers I've ever had. I don't know if it's because I was so hungry
out there.
Yeah. I
love
love that burger. What was the name of it, Zach? Do you remember?
Best Burger Lafayette.
Best Burger
Yeah,
Lafayette.
it was pretty good. I
It had
ended up having one.
it might not have been the best I ever had, but it was
fucking good.
It was pretty good.
And it was spicy, which was weird.
Yeah, the spicy.
Nobody
That's-
told me that.
Yeah, we should have told you, my bad. It had a little kick to it.
We sat down and he's eating whatever he got, and I took the bite out of the hamburger, and I was like, "Oh, that is
Oh my!
got a little kick.
Yeah, it was a kick. It wasn't like or nothing.
No,
but,
it was just enough to let
But
you
it
know.
was just like, oh, okay, I'm awake now. But it was good.
Yep.
Bacon was thick,
Oh, thick.
and that wasn't even I didn't even order the thick cut bacon. I was like, what's the thick cut bacon like? Because
There was a thick cut version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was that whatever, like the junkyard burger or whatever.
Oh,
Something
yeah,
like that, yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't called junkyard, but it was like something
it
like
had
that.
like everything on
Yeah.
it, like a bunch of shit on it.
and that was thick cut bacon.
It had the egg on it.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
yeah.
I really wanted to try it, but I'm like, bro, that's gonna be so
That's gonna be
fucking
so
messy.
very messy.
Because it's a fried egg, so the yolk's like
Oh yeah, it's
all
all all
juicy.
over the place.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good.
Yep.
All the food that I had there was good.
Yeah,
I
that
had,
quesadilla that Danielle got, I ate a piece of that. That was good.
Yeah, Darius had that both times that we went to lunch. He had the chicken.
It's a jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. And then I had the nachos.
You know we're making somebody super fucking hungry right now.
yeah, hell yeah, good.
And those were actually really good. It's funny because you could tell the cheese sauce was just like, generic Sam's brand cheese sauce or something like that. But everything else that he did on top of it, A1. Fresh
Chef's
vegetables
kiss.
and salsa and all of that stuff. You could tell that stuff was made fresh.
Should make my own self hungry.
It was good. Yep. So,
Well, we'll definitely be going back.
yeah. So recommended highly.
All right. So let's get into this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened this week, Nolan?
I have no idea.
You don't-
I've been
you
doing
said
Texas.
it-
I've been doing Texas literally since the minute we got back.
Oh, that's what I forgot. I forgot to ask you which percentage you were. So I'm assuming you still Texas.
Texas.
Okay, you still Texas.
Very much Texas. Yeah.
Okay. So I know there was a Xbox partner showcase.
There was an Xbox partner showcase. I watched it on my break. Oh, actually, I ended up having to go somewhere right when it started, so I watched it when I got back.
So I haven't seen any of it. So I guess we'll kind of speed through it. We'll
It's not
check
that
some
long.
highlights.
Yeah. So yeah, this is all the third party stuff.
Okay.
This looks kind of cool. I forgot what it's called.
It's like Prince of Persia with a
Unknown 9.
Huh?
Unknown 9.
Yeah.
Unknown
It's
9.
kind of like Prince of Persia meets Lord of the Rings. That Lord of the Rings game.
Shadows of
Shadows
Mordor.
of Mordor?
Yeah, with like when you can like.
Or what's
ghost
that
stuff? And,
What's the game on? I think it came out for GameCube. It was called Wraith or something like that.
Oh, I don't know.
There was a game where you could like take over people.
Yeah. But this looks,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what
Geist
it's
or
called.
something like that.
Geist. Okay,
Geist,
yeah.
yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, you take over their bodies or
Yeah.
like inanimate objects and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, this looks like you can like project yourself or make a shield.
Okay. Take over people.
Mm-hmm. And then go over here and make him do
Over
this.
here.
And then go over here and make him blow himself up.
Also, it seems like it's got area of effect. So, like kind of like an MMO, where if an enemy does like an area of effect attack, you can see it on the ground.
You probably build it up over time where you could do like build up to being able to do something like that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's like a spirit walker or something.
Summer 2024.
Yeah,
Oh, it's this year.
Yep.
Bandai Namco.
I'm surprised.
Didn't see Game Pass on it, so I don't know. Maybe not.
They show, one thing that drove me nuts about this. So when they show like every like 3 games or so, they'll show you what all it's coming out on, and it'll say if it's Game Pass or not. Except for the last 3 games, they don't do it there. Weird.
We don't know yet.
So then this one looks weird. This was a
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand. Yeah. It almost looks like a oh dang, what's the name of the company? The Bethesda owns them.
Dishonored?
Arcane.
Yeah, Arcane.
Yeah.
It almost looks like an Arcane game.
It does.
Like the art style and stuff. But it's not. It's riffraff games. But it kind of looks like Dishonored, but with magic cards.
Ooh.
And stuff.
It's definitely got the Dishonored art style,
Yeah.
and the time period kind of matches.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all like a CG trailer, so I can't
Yeah.
really
Kind
tell.
of wish they show a little more. I mean,
Did they show any gameplay?
no.
So we have no idea what the fuck this
No,
game
this
is.
could be a.
So, I mean, I presume with the name
football
Sleight of Hand
simulation
and
for all I know.
what they showed is you're using cards to.
What did it say?
Do your
Third person stealth sim.
Yeah.
third person stealth sim, sleight
Yeah.
of hand. So one of us like spy versus spy. Does it seem like you were like against another?
It almost
Set
feels
traps and stuff?
It feels like it's going to be Dishonored if you're going the stealth route
Oh,
more than anything else. Oh, and this is replicas. No, what is it called?
Oh, is this the one with a bunch of people, the same person?
Yeah,
Altars.
altars. Yeah,
They showed this last year?
did they?
They showed it either last year or it's been longer than
I
that.
feel like I saw it before. I was like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah, it's been a
no.
while since they showed it, and they had not shown any. And they showed it. They were up in like a space. What's it? Space station? They were in a space station,
Yeah.
and he was by himself, but he kept on making copies of himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
So now
was
it
the
looks
last
like the
trailer they
station
showed.
might be on this planet because it's like this big circular
Oh
thing
wow, that looks
with different
pretty cool.
rooms and stuff. Yeah,
I'm
that
assuming
right
it's
there.
going to be a roguelite, right?
Probably.
With all the clones.
I don't know.
Visually, it looks really good.
Yeah, visually it does look good. So are you going to like different planets or environments and stuff, and you got to create different things to survive in said environments and whatnot? I wonder.
It's like a kind of got some sort of base management.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what you're doing the clones for. Now I wonder what you're looking for out in the wilds. Probably
Is that a sheep?
Sure look like it. I presume you're looking for like.
Oh, it's a lady.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a lady. I think it's your.
I don't think it was a lady. No.
Yeah. I think he just cloned himself.
Yeah, it would be cool if you can do like a girl version of yourself.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, but you know,
I'm sure you can.
change that X to well, change that
Y to an X to a Y.
yeah, change that X to a Y.
There
Yeah.
you go.
See what comes out.
See, let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, there's a girl.
What if you change it to an A?
Oh, that's what it's saying. See what happened if you fought harder for your marriage. It's like,
Oh,
dang, we get
well,
deep.
damn.
Because
I don't know if I want to play this or not.
Each version of yourself is a version of yourself had you made a different choice in life.
Oh,
It's not just a straight clone. This
Oh,
is
okay.
what you would have been if you did this and stayed in school.
Okay, so
or
they may
tried
have
harder
like
at track
different
and-
skills and
Yeah.
abilities and stuff too. Okay.
yeah. So
That should be interesting.
Yeah, you can interact with all your other selves. Huh. They'll talk shit about you about how your life could have been better. Yeah, I get
Or
it.
what if he's not cloning? Maybe he's pulling people from different universes.
I feel like that's going to be the twist.
Yeah, it's like a multiverse type thing.
Yeah. Like
You
you're not actually
take me from my
cloning
life to
yourself.
come up
Yeah.
here and do this
Yeah,
shit.
you're pulling them from different worlds, and now you've pulled yourself from too many worlds in one world, and now this world can't exist anymore because there's too much of you. So now you got to decide which one of you is going to die.
Oh shit, Nola. Hey man, the developers gonna come after you. You
And
just spoiled the whole game.
The end boss is you versus all of you.
Ooh, it'd be like you versus 1,000.
It's gonna be like what is it? What's the second Matrix movie where
hope-
he's fighting
oh,
all the
yeah.
ancient Smiths?
Yeah,
I hope
yeah.
that's not what happens in this game because we just gave the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I hate it when I.
Sorry about
when-
that.
Yeah,
11-bit.
I hate it when I knew when I end up trying to guess a twist in something like immediately like
Sixth Sense.
what's the movie
Sixth Sense.
the space movie they were going to the other planet
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
I haven't seen that. Hold on. I haven't seen it.
You haven't
Please
seen
don't say
Interstellar?
I'm not going to say
no
anything.
spoilers.
No, I'm not. Gonna
I
say
plan
anything.
on watching it at some point.
You gotta
Yeah.
watch it, bro.
I'm not
Interstellar's so
going
fucking
to say
good.
anything, but I figured out what was going on. Like seriously, the first scene, I was like, "Oh, well, that's that." And then, sure enough, by the end, it's like I figured the whole thing out from the very beginning. I can't believe it. I spoiled it for myself.
See, I try not to think during those times. I just rather enjoy.
Still really good though.
So what is this?
This is an Annapurna game because it looks like one.
No, I don't think so.
Creatures of Ava.
But, yeah, they've shown this before.
Have they?
Yeah, it was another game that was shown like a while ago.
Oh no, she kind of looks familiar. That character.
It looks cool. I mean, not my type of game, but
So you're using the animals to solve environmental puzzles.
looks like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you go to different places with different races and
They're looking at you kind of side-eyed though.
the doing stuff. I mean, you are the weird human.
It's true. The weird human.
Or is it because she's black?
Oh, it could be because she's
I mean, I
black.
didn't want to say it, but
No matter where you go, man, you still don't get no respect.
I swear. But no, it looks like I like the color and the aesthetic and everything.
Yeah, it's very colorful.
Yeah. So I always like that, you know. You get tired of seeing grays and browns and dark and gritty everything. Sometimes it's nice to have a splash of color.
You know, it seems like things having a lot of color is kind of the new, not new thing, but it's kind of the thing to do now.
Kind of a new fad.
But then, you know, like during the 360 area, it was all yellows and browns.
No. Oh God, yeah. No. Like Xbox 360. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything was
Everything looked
dark.
dirty.
Yeah.
Welcome to Griefville.
Yeah, this is
Griefville, Survive the Nightmare, X Chucky Robot.
Yeah, I've never heard of this game.
Oh, Roblox.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a Roblox.
That's right. Yeah. That's why I've never heard of it. Because I remember looking at this, I'm like, man, this looks like a crappy Xbox Series X game.
I was going to say, it's kind of rough.
On? Yeah.
But then, okay.
If
it's that's crazy what you do.
So it's a game within Roblox. And
well, it's like that Modern Warfare clone on Roblox looked really good.
Oh, yeah, the one Mercy Alex was playing?
Yeah.
No, it was a different one.
Oh.
I just don't understand that whole thing. So it's just like a platform where everybody builds their own games in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Is this like a Dead by Daylight?
Because I know it's a free game that everybody wonders how they end up giving their kids like $600 a year to play this free game.
Gotta buy them skins.
Yeah, it's like, I thought you said this game was free. Yeah, but I got to buy the skins. What? Here.
I gotta look cool.
I gotta look cool in front of my friends, man.
Like, you don't own any of this, right? If I ever stop paying for this or they ever shut it down, all of
it
this
goes
stuff
away.
Is gone.
Yeah, I don't care about that. All right, well, it's available today.
Yep.
I'm sure that'll be popular for some people.
Got it. So so now they show you Unknown is on
Sleight of Hand's gonna be on Game Pass.
Sleight of Hand will be on main.
Oh, the Ultras is Game Pass.
Be on Game Pass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely try it out. And let's see, and then the other ones, Creatures of Ava, will be on Game Pass, and Roblox.
It says new game reveal, so they had never shown that before.
I swear I've seen it before. I may have seen it somewhere
it says first
else.
gameplay, so it may have just been like a CG trailer.
First gameplay trailer.
It said announcement and gameplay.
Shut up, Zach.
I swear I've seen it somewhere else. It might have been shown on some other thing, like the first time they're showing it.
So what is this? This looks familiar.
I'm trying to remember.
This is like
the Sinking City 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
I was going to say, this looks very
Yeah.
Cthulhu-like.
The Eldritch horror stuff.
Yes. This is a Danielle game right here.
I don't know if she ever played the first one.
Seems like she would.
I know a lot of folks liked it, and I saw a lot of folks were excited about this trailer. So
that's a train coming right at you.
Coming at you hard.
It's all
What's Alan Wake?
Cthulhu's dream. None of it's real. We all live in a
Oh, fuck that.
Eldritch God's dream world.
Hey, man,
If he wakes up, it's all over.
You gotta keep him asleep. If you want to scare me, make anything move like that. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, where like they're like skipping frames somehow.
Like herky jerky skipping.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
And then they start running at you.
Mm-hmm. Now there's all this water's coming and
It's sinking city.
winds blowing.
How are you gonna have two cities that sink?
I know. This is bad luck.
I'm seeing this and all I'm thinking of is I was like, oh, okay, yeah, there we go, more Eldritch stuff. You got
Yeah, that's what the people want.
tentacles and eyeballs,
big things.
Yeah. It's like, Sinking City 2, huh? 2025.
I know the first one seemed kind of popular.
Made me think, man, where the hell is the next Eternal Darkness?
Oh, you had your chance.
Love that game.
You had your chance to get the spiritual successor, but nobody put in for the Kickstarter.
What was that? Oh, there was a Kickstarter?
Yeah, it was. Oh shit, is it Final Fantasy 14?
Yeah, some Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, that's
14
right. It's
stuff,
coming to
'cause
Xbox.
It's coming to Xbox. Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. And I think they announced here that it's going to be on it's going to be on Game Pass. The base version will be on Game Pass.
Nice.
And I think you'll be able to buy the expansions
On
separately.
discount.
Yeah. So, which I think we talked about before may have been a thing, or like whenever they finally do World of Warcraft, it might be kind of the same thing. Here's the base game, but if you want more, you can buy this.
You can buy it.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
I hear.
I every once in a while I'll subscribe again and play it a little bit, and then.
But now you don't have to, baby. I don't know if your stuff will carry over.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're usually kind of strict about that. You usually have to buy like licenses for
probably
no matter what platform you're on.
So yeah, they haven't done any kind of cross save or nothing.
I mean, you can still use your character and stuff. You just have to basically pay for permission to play on that platform. Mm-hmm. But it may be different.
Wait, so if it's free on Game Pass, does that mean you don't have to pay for the subscription?
Probably not for the base game, I guess.
Probably not for the base game. Oh, that's right. It's Game Pass Ultimate too.
Okay, so you got to have
I want to point that out. It's Game Pass
high tier.
Ultimate. Yeah.
Wait, so does that mean you can play it on PC?
Yes.
And Interesting.
I mean, I already own it, but I don't think I have any expansions.
Oh, and this is Stalker, the Stalker games.
Oh, are they finally
they're
going to
coming
release
to,
this?
Xbox?
Oh no, this is the original trilogy.
The original trilogy. I didn't know there was more than one. I thought we were still waiting on two. So this is like Stalker and the expansions, or were there three other Stalkers?
I think there's two. I know there's two Stalkers. I thought we were waiting on the third one.
I thought we were waiting on the second one. So.
I thought they rebooted it.
I mean,
Shit, apparently we all know. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really played the.
Well, I've heard they're good.
I think I
but
played
they're
a
also
little bit
scary.
of the first one. Yeah,
Shadows of
I
Chernobyl.
definitely played a little bit of that one, and I'm like, nah, it's scary. I'm out.
Exactly.
Is it like the Metro games, right?
Yeah, it's
Kinda,
like
yeah.
precursor to the Metro games. Mm-hmm. Except the more all out and open.
Yeah. So these are the original trilogy. Getting ready for 2 whenever it comes out. You know, the developers dealing with war.
Clear Sky.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah, because they're based in Ukraine, weren't they?
I believe so. Or somewhere near it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try them out, but I'm just too much of a puss. So look at that.
And Call of Pripyat? I don't.
Pripyat, I think.
Sure.
You just offended so many people. Ooh, look at that. Nope. So I think you're right. Yeah, I think we are waiting on the second, the
Like
sequel. Yeah.
Stalker 2.
Yeah.
I think these were more like expansions.
Yeah.
But that's cool, you know, because I mean, I think Stalker hadn't been out, 12, 13 years, something
It's
like
been
that
a
since the
long
original
time.
game.
It's been a while.
When did the first Stalker
Well, it's
come
available
out?
today.
Yep.
It had to be like early
Shadow
2000s.
It's been a while.
Let's see.
Late 90s.
No, it wasn't that long.
2007.
2007. Okay.
So, guys, 17 years. Jeez. And then just Monster Jam Showdown.
Oh, hell
because
yeah.
why
Monster
not?
Jam's coming back, baby.
Monster Truck Racing. It seems, I don't know. I remember at the time, it just, for some reason, it just, the games that they showed, and then this.
This is a
Yeah,
game
This.
I always thought it was like shovelware on PS2,
Like PS2,
and Wii.
Yeah.
I mean, I guarantee you there's a Monster Truck fan out there going,
Oh,
yes!
hell yeah.
Oh, no doubt. And I'm glad, too.
And I'm sure it's great for kids, too.
Oh, yeah. Kids will probably love this.
Because it doesn't seem that fast.
Yeah.
So, like, it's easy for them to, they won't get overwhelmed or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
And
it looks like a very competent racing game with monster trucks. What can you say bad about it?
I mean, that's a shark monster truck.
Yeah.
I'm in. So,
Can't say anything bad about it unless the control's bad.
Yeah,
Wouldn't know until you play it.
ooh.
And then,
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
like Persona 3 again? Something
Again?
like that? Something Persona. This is when I got a phone call, so I couldn't hear what was going on. I know it was.
Oh, you know what I picked up this week,
Oh,
Steven?
is it new DLC or is it the DLC that came with Fez?
I don't know.
I got the original. I picked up the original Persona 3. Yeah.
Nice.
With the collector's book and soundtrack, I think.
Where'd you get that from?
Whatnot.
Shit.
I think it's sealed, too, if I'm not mistaken.
So more Persona. It feels like all this re-releasing of Persona stuff. Can't they just make a new one?
I think they're seeing if people really want it.
Well, I think the team who did 3, 4, and 5 are done. And they're
What do you
working
mean
on that
done?
other.
Like they all passed away?
No. So they're working on that. What's that other game coming out on Xbox that looks like a Persona game, but it's not? Dang, Darius would know. Shit, Darius.
you would know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But anyway, okay, so it's getting a little. It's very interesting.
Yeah, are these new?
Because I know Persona 3 Fez had the expansion with Aegis, I believe.
That just looks like background music stuff.
Yes, that's just.
I can't keep up with all this Persona stuff.
I know.
Man, Persona 3 is so good though. I got to play the new one.
Is this the one where they shoot themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't see
Yeah, this
it
is the one that
coming.
when I heard about it, kind of put me off on the
Yeah,
whole
talking about they shoot
Game Pass
themselves in the
Ultimate.
head.
Persona
That's
stuff.
nice. That's on Game Pass. I would tell you to try it out now because I really like it. But I don't blame you for not
We'll see.
wanting to.
I might. I don't know. There's so much shit to play.
It's also a turn-based RPG, so it may be kind of boring for you.
I don't mind that. Honestly,
Xbox Wire, what is that?
I have no idea what that is.
I played Sea of Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Turn based.
Sinking City 2, Series X, Final Fantasy 15, Series X.
See, it says Sinking City 2 is an announcement trailer.
Yeah.
First time showing it.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the Monster Jam.
Everything.
It's true.
Surprised that's not on Game Pass.
Yeah, that does definitely
Yeah.
seems like a Game Pass.
Yeah, it does seem kind of like a Game Pass game. You never know. Every now and then they'll come up with a deal right before it comes out. I forgot what game I was wishing was on Game Pass, and then it finally was. It was like right before it came out. Oh yeah, we're gonna add this on too. Awesome.
Sweet.
They said DNF Universe.
Yeah, this is the first Berserker. They showed this at was it the Game Awards where they showed the first
Oh, okay, yeah.
teaser for it?
That's the one where based off of the Berserker class.
Yeah,
This is just like a third person, like
Yeah.
God of War type game.
yeah. So apparently, this is the first Berserker. Hence the name.
It's got like a CG anime look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks cool.
Yeah. Might be fun.
Are they releasing more characters for this game, or they kind of gave up?
For the fighting game,
Yeah.
as far as I know, season 2 is still going.
Oh,
They're just
nobody's playing it.
I haven't played it in forever. The game was really fun. But
It was.
last time I tried to play it online. I sat there for an hour and not a soul.
Really?
Golly.
That sucks.
It's kind of turned into a Discord game where you have to be like in Discord
Right.
rooms where other folks are planning to play it anymore, which is sad because I really did enjoy that
Yeah, the game was.
I think they waited way too long to release it.
They did.
Or not even release a character, but to make any kind of announcement.
Yeah, because I mean, it was clear that I don't think Neopal figured they were ever going to do anything for them.
Well, they probably thought it was like a Jump Force or Naruto where they just release it and that's all they have to do.
Yeah, for them, I think it was just an advertisement for the original game.
The online game.
Yeah, and when it kind of took off, but from what I heard, Arc System Works actually was like, "Hey, so you guys need to go ahead and start to work on some extra stuff for it."
Sorry,
and they
what?
were like, "Oh, no, we don't think we're going to do that." It's like, but if it takes off, folks are going to want more content for it. And sure enough, it had a pretty big groundswell at first, but they waited too long to actually do anything with it. So,
fortunately and unfortunately, fighting games really need.
yeah, they need
DLC
that
now
kinda-
to-
yeah, like upfront,
And it needs support immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
or no one's going to play it anymore, and it'll be like this where, yeah, nobody cares anymore, which is sad because again, it's a really good game.
This looks
then-
cool.
Yeah, I hope this ends up on Game Pass. I think it is. On
I think
Game
it
Pass,
is on
actually.
Game Pass.
Tales of
What was it?
Kenzara.
Zaro.
Yeah.
Zao gameplay. Okay.
Metroidvania.
Always a good time.
But I get like, it's like I saw this. I'm like, man, this looks like the Ori games,
Yeah.
and I loved both of those games. So it's
It
like,
does look very Ori like.
so I was already in when they first showed it. Well, when I first saw gameplay of it, last month?
This?
Yeah,
Oh, they've shown this before?
Yeah, they showed it before.
yeah. They announced it at the Game Awards, and then they showed some gameplay of it last month on some show I saw. And so this is like more gameplay of it. This is like the most gameplay they've ever showed of it. So
It looks good.
yeah.
Yep.
I like the colors. The art style.
It's like African myth, like just like the Guacamole games were based
yeah.
off of Mexican Central American myth. Which,
Guacamole
if you
was great.
haven't played Guacamole and you like Metroid style games, play
Guacamole
that
was
game.
awesome.
Guacamole is hilarious.
I haven't played the second one, but the first one was awesome.
The first one was so good, but it is so funny because
it is.
It not only is a ripoff of a Metroid game, it makes fun of itself for doing it because they actually put the Chozo in there.
Yeah.
But it also makes fun of so many other games too. It's really funny. It's like a parody of games all around. So yeah, if you haven't played those games and you like that type of game, play it.
Check it out.
Yeah. So then Frostpunk 2.
See, I've always wanted to try the first Frostpunk.
I've never played it, but Frostpunk fans were like, "Oh my god, Frostpunk 2!" and chat and everything because I got off the phone at this point and everybody was going nuts, and I was like, "This looks familiar. What's the name of this game? Frostpunk or something?" Yeah, sure.
Comes out pretty soon too, July 25th.
It's on Game Pass. The first one,
is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Pre-order today and play the beta.
Apparently, there's more to it than it looks, from what I hear from some folks saying. And then this was it Kunimitsu. They finally translated the name in English.
Kunitsugami.
Yeah.
Path of the Goddess.
Yeah. The
game that there's a lot of shit happening right now.
At first glance, I thought it was a new Onimusha game, but I was like, no, this ain't no.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it's this game. Okay.
Yeah. So it was funny just a couple of weeks ago I was thinking about this game. It's like, what the hell type of game is this? So it's a
action
strategy game. It's an strategy game. So
it's not an action third person game.
So during the day, like the showing here,
okay,
you free villagers on this. You're basically climbing this mountain, and you having to purify the, what do they call it? The rot or the defilement. And every time you free somebody from the defilement, they join your group for when nighttime falls and the monster gates open, and they help you fight off the monsters overnight.
Okay. So it's kind of like
that's when it becomes strategy, because each town's person, you pretty much assign them a task.
Okay.
Yeah. And it kind of sort of
like
becomes
almost
a
like
tower defense.
Yeah, I was about to say like a tower defense game.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But like when the attack goes on, you still have control of your guy, so you're all fighting. And the more folks you help, the more help you have when the monster gates open. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say, it seemed like there was a lot of people on the screen.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. I definitely didn't expect that.
But again, this is like a, it's kind of weird, but this is Capcom when they're doing good and they just let folks try stuff again. Yeah. I love it. This is how
that's how we got like Lost Planet.
Yeah. Lost Planet, Beautiful Joe, Okami.
Yeah.
All the weird stuff.
I really wish we'd get another Lost Planet.
I think the closest thing you got to that so far is
Exoprimal.
Exoprimal, yeah.
And nobody played that shit.
I play it every now and then. It's still on Game Pass.
Is it?
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, it's still here. I'll play a few games. It's still fun.
That definitely looks like it could be a good time.
Yeah. And they use that weird camera angle where everything's like super, I forgot what it's called, when it's like super focused, but it's like so focused that everything looked like toys or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Pleasantville? What is it called? Uncanny Valley?
No, it's like you seen the pictures of like a cityscape where they're like, it's like really far away, but it's super focused in, so everything looks like really small.
Yeah, it looks like a miniature.
And it looks like a, yeah, exactly.
I gotcha.
They kind of have that effect going on with this game.
Yeah, like everything could be like action figures or dolls or something like that.
Yeah. But it's actually real.
Yeah.
So
what if they pan out and it's some person playing with action figures?
Oh shit!
I'm wondering if the whole thing is like going to be her dream or something. It's like you get up there and everything was just her dream with toys and whatnot. It's kind of what I thought when I first saw it. But now that I know what the game type is, it's probably not what is going on. But I kind of thought that might have been what it is. Like everything was just kind of happening in her mind.
All right. Well, yes, that's a pretty good selection of stuff. That's a lot of different type of games.
Yeah.
They needed to show something.
Yeah.
This was a right step, and
Yeah.
And it was good to see a lot of third party stuff still coming to Xbox. Of course, a lot of this stuff is going to be on other things too. But if you're an Xbox guy, hey, I got stuff to play.
There you go. Most of it's coming to Game Pass. So.
This year is probably going to be Xbox Series best year, I think.
Think so?
As far as software wise, as long as everything that's supposed to come out comes out. Last
you think
year
they're going to sell? You think Hellblade's going to sell consoles?
I don't know,
because it's supposed to come out in the summertime, right?
I don't think they're giving it a date yet. I
thought they did.
I'm betting fall.
Is he coming to Game Pass?
Yeah.
It's first party game, so
that's right.
It'll be day and date.
We'll definitely get some people to sign up for
May
Game Pass.
21st is the release date.
Okay, yeah, so summer. So what's the big fall game? I wonder. They haven't announced it yet.
Probably haven't announced it yet. I don't think anybody's announced the big fall stuff yet.
Yeah, we got summer games coming up.
What if we get a brand new Gears of War?
That's I forgot about that. That's been the big word, because what the hell else have the coalition been working on since 5 was done?
And so 5 came out before the Series X, right?
I think so, because 5 was the first game I played on the Series X.
Yeah, because I think it came out. When did Gears 5 come out?
When I got Game Pass, and then I got the Series X like right after I got Game Pass, because I was like,
2019.
I need to get an Xbox.
Yeah, it came out in 2019.
Yeah, so it's been 5 years. I know they've done some help work with other games here and there too, but that's all that the coalition does. It's been 5 years. Yeah,
it'd be great if they announced something like summertime, like after Hellblade comes out.
I'm almost positive,
and then released
that's what's going to happen.
Like
I forgot
October.
about that one. Yeah, that's I know that's the thought, that we're getting a new Gears of War, and that's going to be their big holiday game.
It would make sense.
Now, if it's good, I think that can push consoles. I know a lot of folks didn't like 5 because there's a girl in my game. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Why are people still fucking complaining about shit like that?
I know, it's so stupid.
And we've had.
And Gears 5 was great. We've had that game.
Women protagonists from like the beginning of gaming.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. Shut up.
Fucking Samus.
No, I'm sure there's probably another reason why. Most people
I remember beating that game, and when you find out it's a girl under that helmet, if you beat it in enough time, and just the one where she takes the helmet off, it's like, Samus is a girl?
What?
It was shocking.
It's Justin Bailey.
It's funny. It's an afterthought now, but at the time, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Like, could not believe it. This badass space bounty hunter monster killing thing is a girl.
Did you hate the game afterwards?
No, I thought it was even better. It's like, this is awesome.
It's pretty hot, right? Kick
I mean,
ass.
as hot as an 8-bit.
Yeah, kick ass. No, I'm saying like the idea of it. Kick ass.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Female bounty hunter.
I mean, I was like eight at the time.
Oh, you was old enough.
Yeah. Actually, I was probably about 10.
Hey, you definitely
when I actually
old enough.
played it. Yeah. So
That was nice.
But yeah, it's good for Xbox showing some stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Nintendo.
They have a good console.
Oh
They
yeah,
just haven't had.
Xbox, I will never stop singing the praises of the console itself. The
They
Xbox
just
Series
need the
X
software.
is so good. If you have an Xbox One still for some reason, and you've been putting off getting a Series X, don't. If you can afford it, it is an upgrade. Period.
Do it, please.
Do it, because once you go to an SSD, you'll never go back. You'll look at that Xbox One and go, "How did I wait so long for everything to load?"
Dude, don't talk to me about the Xbox One loading.
I had to reload my Xbox One because I had to put something on the cloud so I can pull it down on the Series X. And it felt like it took 15 minutes just for the opening screen to come up before I could even go in.
Dude, it's like molasses. It's like watching
so
paint dry.
slow. It's like, how did I do this? How did I used to sit here? Because the first game I played on my Series X was Avengers.
Oh, and that one's fucking slow.
And that was one of those games that when I played it on my Xbox One, I'd turn on the Xbox, start the game up, and I'd go get a bowl of cereal or something.
Fucking
and come back and it might be at the title screen.
3 loads of laundry before that bitch starts.
X, it installed and I turned it on the Series X and I went to go stand up and it was like, "Hey, you want to play?"
Dude,
shoot.
We had like one Xbox One left at the shop, And I avoided that thing like the plague.
Yeah.
I did everything in my power not to put somebody on that thing because I knew in my heart of hearts it's going to take forever to do anything.
It's so slow, but the Series X is so snappy. I mean, the menu, everything just works better. The being able to like go back to games, like up to 4 games at a time. Like you can start this game here, close it down, go to a different game, close it down, go to a different game, go back to that first game, and you're right back where you left off.
Technology, baby.
That is amazing, and it's just like once you get used to all that stuff, you cannot go back. Again, Series X as a piece of hardware is absolutely fantastic. If I cannot say this enough, if you have an Xbox One and you haven't upgraded to a Series X and you can afford it, get a Series X.
Not Series S.
I mean,
Series X.
Series S, if it's still an upgrade.
Yeah.
But yeah, get out of the Xbox One. The series as a whole it's not just a minor step up. It's a step up.
Shoot, what they say last week that the next one's gonna be 4 times as powerful.
That's what they say.
That's what they had said. I'm holding to it.
Yeah, we'll see. We might be hearing about that this summer too. And you never know. Hey, they come out and Gears of Wars just looks just ridiculous.
120 FPS.
Yeah.
4K.
Well, I mean,
standard.
they already do stuff like that. Yeah, when I got my new TV and I played my first 4K 120 frame game, it's just like, like okay, that looks good. It's like 120 frames.
Nobody cares.
That's gonna be a big a deal. It ain't gonna look any different than 60 frames. But you know what?
It does. Trust me, I was never. I mean, obviously, I'll play a game 30 FPS. I don't care.
Yeah.
But once you get used to seeing 60, it's definitely nice. It's a nice upgrade.
And then 4K 120 is,
I can imagine,
is a step up. So, but yeah, I love my Xbox. It's fantastic, and
I want to say this. I like the design of the system itself.
Yeah,
I love
just
it
a simple black cube.
Exactly, that's all you need.
That's all it needs to be.
It's a nice little mini fridge.
Nice little mini fridge. Yeah. It looks nice, so you put it anywhere. It's not like that.
It fits easy wherever you want to put it.
Fucking whatever the hell the PlayStation 5 is.
The PlayStation 5 is the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, it basically. Yeah, you're right. That's what it is.
Can't put anything on it. Can't put anything next to it.
It takes all the attention of wherever.
Jesus, and now what do you think the Pro is going to look like?
I don't know. Hopefully
for what?
For the PS5 Pro.
Hopefully it's just a square.
It's coming out this year, so I guess we'll see soon because they just came out with the Slim.
Yeah,
so
it's probably gonna look like fucking Stonehenge or something.
Probably. Yeah, it's gonna be just the big head.
They're just picking out different monuments to base it off of their consoles.
It'd be like the Eiffel Tower. It's gonna look like the Sphinx.
The Sphinx.
Yeah.
Well, I would. If they fucking released it and it looked like a pyramid or a sphinx.
Oh, bro, if it's a pyramid, oh my gosh.
That would be.
Oh, it's black. I don't like the
white.
And stop making stuff shiny. Just make everything matte, please. Please.
What was I think that was the Wii that first did that, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it shows every single scratch.
Oh yeah,
every single one.
Oh yeah, it might have been the PS3. Yeah,
PS3 was.
You could look at it and scratch it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Think about it hard enough, it'll scratch.
Yeah, it's like just give me a nice matte finish.
The Wii and the Wii U had that problem.
Yeah,
yeah, the Wii U.
Speaking of different consoles,
oh shit. Okay,
we're gonna do a little tier list tonight.
Ooh, another tier list, you say?
It's been a while since we've done it because we know we did a couple in a row.
Yeah.
We're gonna do. We're gonna rate controllers.
Oh hell yeah, baby! This is my jam right here.
All right,
hold on. Let me get this set up.
I know. Darius is gonna be upset that he missed this one.
Yeah, he's gonna see this and be like, no.
He's gonna have some strong opinions about some of these controllers.
You gonna wait time?
And he's gonna be wrong about all.
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
they're gonna be wrong.
All right, so let me get this set up.
I don't know. I think a lot of these controllers may rate pretty high.
I mean, I can't really think of a bad controller, but I can definitely think of ones I like more than others.
Yeah, that's true.
So we'll see. Maybe something will occur to me as they come up.
Do we want to just go in the order that they're presented?
Or yeah.
Or do we want to go by release date?
Let's go by release date.
All right. I might not be completely
Well,
accurate on all
in
this.
general, release date. You ain't got to be super accurate with it.
Yeah. Just same eras.
There you go. Just put generations together.
Yeah. I already know one that's I'm probably going to upset a lot of folks.
Oh, shit.
with. There's one controller that everybody seems to love that I never liked. I hated, actually.
GameCube controller?
We'll see. I don't see the Atari controller up there, just saying.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man, that's part of it. Ray, if the Atari controller was up there, it's going to go into the D list.
I mean, it's got it. Wow.
No, I ain't going to say that. I didn't use it enough.
I talked to somebody at RetroCon about that because they were a little younger, so their first controller was like an NES controller. And I was like, it's like, we just had a D-pad and 2 buttons. That's like, I just had a stick and 1 button. And somehow they made those games work.
Oh, no. For what it did, it was great. Mm-hmm. So, you probably put that up as a A or a B controller.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it has to be at least a B just for being the first, at-home controller.
Oh, hell
type
yeah.
deal. Either that or the one with the dial.
Oh,
the
yeah.
dial and the button.
Mm-hmm. That's best for playing Pong.
Centipede,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got to get the little rolling ball for Centipede.
Hold on. I just realized they don't have the PS5 controller on here.
No.
Let me get a picture of the PS5 controller.
All right. Zach,
and then we'll
do this
start
thing.
this. Dude, why is Google Chrome using Bing?
Because it won't. Wait, I don't know. Probably because they know Bing's good for image search. So
Yeah, but it doesn't know that I'm looking for an image.
Yeah, it does. Trust me, it already knows.
That's weird. Did you search in the address bar?
I'm on Google Chrome.
Yeah, but did you search in the address bar?
I did.
Yeah, the address bar might be set to Chrome. My mom did something with some update where everything that she did, no matter which browser she was
it's
defaulted back
I
to,
just searched Google and it searched fucking Bing.
Yeah, it did go to Bing. That's fucking weird.
I'm wondering if there was an update and you accidentally clicked something because my mom, the same thing happened to her. She would open up Chrome, but everything she did would end her up back in
Really?
It set itself as the default search. If you were in different browsers, it set itself up as the default browser and all of that crap, and I had to go and fix it.
Fuck you, Microsoft.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Hey, man, you got to give Bing a chance,
as the default. So uncheck this box if you don't want us to do that. It's like, I hate it when they do stuff.
Oh, yeah,
like
try
that.
to
It's
intentionally
wait,
confuse you.
Uncheck if I don't.
Yeah, you sure?
So if I
Is that what you want to do?
I do want it, but uncheck it
yep.
to not, or check it to not want. I'm confused. I'm just going to hit the button.
Yeah, we got you. I appreciate that. Welcome to Bing. You going to see how cool we are.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we ready?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so the first controller. Oh, I need to add.
Shit.
Sorry, I need to add another category. Add a bro. It's been a while since we've done this.
It's been a while. Know what we really should have did? We should have did the Zelda tier list.
The Zelda tier list again. He really be crying.
Oh, yeah.
No. I swear.
We'll say that one for the season finale.
I'm gonna find somebody who can fix audio, and we're gonna fix that. We're gonna fix that episode.
There ain't no fixing that one.
Come on, man. It's got to be a way.
You'll be surprised what folks that know what they're doing can do with stuff like that. All of a sudden, he'll sound normal. They'll get rid of all the whatever else, and
He had no audio.
You don't know that. They'll figure out a way.
They'll figure out a way.
It was just really low. What are we talking about? Okay.
All right. We're going to start with the NES
Okay.
controller.
The NES classic controller.
Classic.
I'm gonna let you go first, Nola. I'm gonna let you start this one
Okay.
off.
So,
Age before beauty.
coming off of the Atari, the NES was our next first console. And you know, it was again coming off of just a stick and a button. This thing was like high tech gear at the time. You know, you have the patented cross D-pad,
Right.
which I believe
standard for.
I believe they only just recently lost the patent to that, which is why other companies are finally starting
Really?
to use it. Yeah. You know, the good old B and A button, select and start. Actually, you know, if you go back and play old NES games, they actually made you use the select button. It's like a vestigial tale at this point. It's like games will still say, you know, controllers still have some, you know, select buttons, but you don't really do anything with them anymore.
Nope.
Hadn't really done anything since the SNES, but yeah, like I said, back at the time, this thing was high tech hardware that allowed you to do so much stuff with games,
Cutting edge.
and literally every controller after would kind of sort of base themselves off of it. So so I'm gonna go ahead and give it an S.
You know, I'm gonna have to agree with you, though. I'm gonna have to give it an S.
Really? Okay.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because to me, this is like the prototype controller. Okay,
Yeah.
like the control pad and stuff, and the B and A buttons. I mean, yeah, all controllers kind of have to be the same sort of to an extent, but I feel like with the control pad and stuff like that, this laid the groundwork for a lot of controllers up until.
Like seriously, every controller.
Yeah. So there's gonna be a first. I'm gonna go ahead and say this: the first few of these are probably gonna be really high for me personally.
But this one kind of set the stage for
Yeah.
everybody.
So this is definitely an S.
I put it at a B.
A B. Okay, that's understandable.
It's
Definitely not shaped like
Right. It's not shaped very well.
Yeah.
And the A and B button are backward.
What's that?
The B and A buttons are back.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, we're still working that. We're still working that.
It was made by a Japanese company.
Right. And that's going to be my problem with most Nintendo controllers for the
Because
They
it's very confusing.
they never
Like seriously,
they've always, and it's fine. It's their company. They can be wrong if they want to be.
I agree.
But so that probably puts it what, high A.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that.
All right.
So
The Genesis controller.
we're skipping over the Master System and going straight to the Genesis.
No Master System respect around.
I mean,
here.
the Master System was basically just a
NES.
a copy of the NES
Yeah.
controller,
Yeah.
which they got sued to hell for, which brings us to Genesis.
The boomerang.
Yeah,
The
The original boomerang.
the original,
The
exactly.
OG boomerang.
You know, it dropped that useless select button. You just got the one start button over your three buttons, and then you got the
The C button.
since they couldn't use the cross pad because they got sued, Nintendo was like, hey, you take that cross pad off of there. Nobody's allowed to use that. We have that. So
That's wild.
you get the, what do they call it? The rocker pad
Yeah,
or
it's
something
more
like
like
that.
a-
So it's like round.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of folks do like the way it gives you, they feel like it has more control, especially on the diagonals, because
Yep.
you're rolling it around instead of hitting, you know, forward
Rolling
and down
round at the speed of sound,
and stuff
which
like
is connected to Sonic. So
that. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's Sega.
Now, you know, nostalgically speaking, you know, you're playing Altered Beast on this thing. You're playing Sonic the Hedgehog on this thing. You're playing Golden Axe on this thing. You're playing Streets of Rage on this thing. There's just so many good feelings of playing it. But Sega controllers have never really been like that comfortable to me, though. I've always preferred Nintendo controllers, but you know, again, they were kind of the first. All that being said, I'd probably still put the Genesis controller. I put it at a B.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So my only issue with this controller is I always thought it was a little bit too big. It seemed like it was just too big for me from what I can remember.
When you were a little kid,
When I was a little
When you
kid.
were a kid, yeah.
And it's definitely shaped better. That's, you know, for being comfortable and stuff like that.
Ergonomics finally started coming into play. Yeah.
Boom, you added the C button. So you add, you know, that's always a good thing. But then you try to play something like Street Fighter. You still don't have access to all your moves. Yeah. So I kind of have to knock it a little bit for that. Unfortunately. I'd probably give it a B. If this was the six button controller, I'd probably give it an A.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Nolan?
I said a B.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna be the low guy tonight because I'm putting this at a C.
I can see it as a C.
Yeah.
I think the only thing got it going for it is the shape is a lot better than the NES controller, but that's about it. The D-pad is much worse. I don't know. I think the ABC is kind of weird.
You know, they did add the button, but when it compares to the other controller in that generation, it's kind of lacking.
So as Darius likes to point out,
yeah,
the Genesis wasn't made to compete against the SNES.
It was
made to compete against the NES.
The NES.
So
that is true.
So the real comparison design wise is really to that. So, you know, but then of course the SNES came out and games started coming up to the.
Of course, now if you do compare it to the NES controller, it's probably
superior.
Technically speaking, it's probably
design wise. Yeah.
All
right, so the Super Nintendo controller.
Now,
here we go.
This thing is the true.
Oh shit!
Is the true. This is like when, you know, the apes started to stand straight up. You know, they're still kind of ape men, but they're the Homo erectus of all controllers. I remember putting my hands on an SNES controller the first time and just going, what am I going to do with all these buttons?
I think I heard Angel singing.
It's so many buttons.
Yeah.
It's like so many. 4 on the face and then 2 on the shoulders.
That's the way I can use all these buttons.
And still a start and select button. I don't know what to do. This is too much. I mean, I'm playing the game with the fat guy that all I need to do is jump and twirl a cape. But now I've got these extra buttons I don't know what to do with. This is insane. Just imagine what they could do with all these buttons.
So many gameplay elements they can add.
Yeah, but again, you know, if the NES controller was, you know, kind of the mud skipper, you know, the water life coming on the land, this is the Homo erectus of all controllers that came after.
This is the dawn of man controller.
Yeah, and so this is a 100% S. I mean, I like the way it felt. It changed the way games were made because now there's so many more options that you can add control options and stuff. Fighting games,
you can actually change control schemes, control layouts, controller layouts.
Yeah. You don't want your jump button over here, move it to a shoulder because now it's an option.
You got to use it to play all the Game Boy games with the Super Game Boy.
Oh shit.
Dude, I love this controller.
Dude, that controller, it's
is my all-time favorite controller.
Yeah, it's
one of mine too. Yeah,
it deserves
an S.
Its spot in the S category.
Yeah, no question.
It just looks good too.
To this day.
Yeah. The Sega Saturn controller, which is very similar to the Genesis 6-button controller.
Yes. So here's where folks are going to get angry at me. I hated the Saturn controller. I hated it. I hated the pad felt even worse. I never felt like I had good control over any game that I was playing with this thing. I don't know what it was about it. It was too tall. It rocked too much. It always felt kind of loosey.
And the controller was small.
Loosey-goosey?
Yeah, and it was a little smaller, and it might have been because, like what he was saying, you know, kids complain that the old 16-bit
they might have overcorrected.
Because if you think about it, the 6-button controller on the Genesis was smaller.
Yep.
So that might have been a valid complaint, which we'll talk about with the Duke coming up.
I like the Duke.
That might have been a Japanese thing where they thought they were catering to larger and Westerner hands, and
large Americans.
What the hell is this? So
giant Western hands.
But yeah, I've never liked the Saturn controller. I know folks that to this day still say it's the greatest controller ever.
So made. I think Darius is a big. He really likes the control. He likes the Saturn controller. Yeah.
I've never liked the and the thing.
I think he even bought an up-to-date version to plug into USB. Yeah. That's how much he likes this controller.
A lot of folks do, but I've never cared for it. I mean, that being said, you know, it did what it needed to do. The Saturn games I played, you know, I could play with it on there, but like fighting games always felt bad. Fighting game players who like pads, a lot of them still use these. They
Yeah,
will
that's
they
what
will
he-
buy
that's what he
adapters
likes
so they
about
can
it.
still use it on their PS5. I've never liked it. So for me, again, I don't think there's ever been like a horrible controller or nothing like that. So I'll say C.
So I haven't, unfortunately, I haven't used the controller enough to give a good answer for this. Now I did play a little bit with it when Darius got his. I did play some fine games with it, and for me, it did seem like the D-pad did make it easier for moves to come out and stuff. But I don't know. I really have to play with it a lot longer to give any definite answer. But it does seem kind of small. But all that said, I guess I'll give it a C just because I don't know enough about it. I don't have enough experience with it.
It's better than the Genesis controller. So with that, I have to give it a B.
Okay.
It's not the greatest controller. It's a good controller though. It was far better than the Genesis controller though. But you guys both gave it C's, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just put it at the top of the C's.
Okay.
All right. The Nintendo 64.
All right. So I only just recently found out that a lot of folks hated this controller.
Oh, this controller was awful.
So I think I told the story the first time I ever played an N64.
But it was the first controller to have an analog stick.
Yes. Right. And we played it at Blockbuster. We played Super Mario 64 and Xenogears, the demos for both of those games at the same night at the same Blockbuster. And that was the first time I'd ever put my hand on an N64 controller. And I remember just being confused so my hand.
Yeah. It was like you don't really know how to play it. Yeah.
Huh. And, first time ever dealing with analog controls. And Mario, I could not get him to run in a straight line. We had to get a little kid to play the first stage of 64. When you climbing up the spider,
climbing up the mountain. Yeah,
we kept falling off because we couldn't make him run in the right direction and everything. It wasn't until we actually rented an N64 months after and played GoldenEye on it that all of a sudden
it clicked.
It made perfect sense. GoldenEye, and then we bought an N64 when Star Fox 64 came out, and yeah. But it was the first analog. It was the first controller that was made specifically for 3D, which the N64 kind of ushered in.
Mario 64.
Yep. Tech wise, it was all there, and this would start the trend of Sony not only eventually copying, always making fun of something Nintendo did before they copied them themselves. But for me, it'd probably be a B. Because it's experimental because it was the first one. I think going with the analog control right out the bat was a good choice because as we'll see, the Sony eventually had to follow suit because 3D was kind of the way to go, and it's kind of hard to do on a D-pad if you want,
Trust me, this next one is going
precise controls.
We'll talk about that.
The C sticks and the shoulder buttons and the trigger button, which actually made playing shooting games on a console feel like you were shooting a gun at least.
Right.
Because GoldenEye is what sold us on the N64. Yeah. It was like, okay, this is it. Now I get it. Now this controller makes sense. The expansion slide on the back where you could put the
rumble pack
with
the memory cards.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So good piece of tech. Overall, solid controller. So yeah, I'll give it a B.
All right. So I know that this controller is designed, I don't want to say badly, but you could say badly. It is very weird how it's designed. Mm-hmm. And I understand people not liking it, but I feel like they were really trying to make it work with the 3D and stuff like that. So they kind of did what they thought was best. It's a very weird controller. I get that, but I really do like it. I'm kind of like Nolan. Once you get it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But you could easily not get it and not make sense, and I totally get that too.
Yeah, for me, it took a certain game because Mario 64 feels weird. GoldenEye, Star Fox 64 clicked.
So what I really like about the controller is the Z trigger. So like when you're playing like Ocarina of Time for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Using the Z trigger to target and stuff like that was very helpful.
Targeting.
Yeah, Z targeting was great. I liked having the expansion, the rumble pack you can put in and stuff like that. So that was really cool. Another thing that I just realized that I really like about this controller was, as far as I can tell, it's the first controller that comes to mind that came in different colors. There was like official different colors of controllers, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, and they had a lot of them.
They had a lot of them. They had the blues and orange, greens, see-throughs, all that good stuff. So I know it's a badly designed controller, but I kind of get what they were going for.
In hindsight.
Right. So I think I'll go with a B with Nolan.
This controller sucked.
Yeah, okay, I can see it. I can see you saying that too.
But the analog stick was ahead of its time.
Yes, the analog stick was great.
It made playing 3D games so much better. So normally I would give this controller an F because it was so bad, but it was willing to try things, and I didn't even think about the colors. It was the first time we got multiple colors of controllers officially.
Yeah, I think like third parties probably did it, but
right, like the official branded controllers is like the first time we got different colors, and that was all. So I'm gonna give it a C.
That's reasonable.
Which is like a low B, because you guys both give it B, right?
Yeah.
Okay. PlayStation 1 controller.
No.
So yeah, this was clearly, for anybody that doesn't know, what would become the PlayStation started life as the Nintendo CD drive, like Famicom CD,
Right.
when Nintendo was toying with the idea of using that as their next console idea, because everybody was thinking they were going to move to CDs, but then Nintendo kind of had a knee-jerk reaction. Well, we won't have control of it, and they're way too easy to copy. And piracy is going to run rampant with this thing. We don't want to deal with that. We're going to stick with our carts, which we all know how that turned out for them. They were right on the piracy part, but that's beside the point.
I mean, it killed one system.
Yeah. So,
or it helped kill one system.
Yeah. So Sony, who was designing the CD system for Nintendo, decided, well, hey, they abandoned this thing. Let's see if we can just go ahead and finish it ourselves. They worked with Bandai or Namco. They weren't Bandai Namco yet. They worked with Namco, kind of used their arcade chipsets, and they finished and built their own system. So this thing is clearly descended from the SNES controller. It's got, basically the same button layout with the two extra shoulder buttons.
Same kind of color scheme too.
Yeah. So, it's like, hey, why fix what isn't broken? Of course, again, in 64 having the analog controller, because I guess Nintendo kind of knew going into it that they were going more 3D. Where the PlayStation, I don't think they saw the 3D rage taking off as much as it did. Particularly in Japan, there was still a lot of 2D games coming out, which wasn't really the deal over here. So, that's why no analog sticks and stuff like that when it came out. But just shape and feel wise, it always PlayStation controllers always felt weird to me. Not a bad controller, but not a good controller either. Again, I have a hard time saying that, this controller is a straight F, but I'd probably give it a C- or something. I think it's easily not the best controller Not the one that comes to mind of one of the ones I really want to go back to use again. Just put it that way.
I don't like this controller. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like this controller. It's because the controller right after it is the much better controller.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider the D-pad that this controller has.
Yeah.
Considering that's the only movement option you have on this controller.
For a 3D game, yeah.
Yeah, it's not for a 3D game. Yeah, it's not that good.
Symphony of the Night, fine.
Oh yeah. You can do some up and down and left and right and with that controller, fine.
But
so I'm gonna have to give it. Also, for some reason, it just looks naked.
It does, doesn't it?
It does. It just looks,
just no design. It's just all gray
right.
and just the buttons. Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to give this one a D.
Yeah, I didn't really use this one when it first came out because I never really played PlayStation. I had like a couple friends that had it, but didn't play that often. And when I did play the PlayStation, I used the one with analog sticks.
Yeah.
So this one, if I ever go back, it feels too light. It feels like I'm gonna break the bitch.
It does feel very cheap.
Yes.
So I'm right there with you with a D. What did you say, Nolan?
I think I said C.
C.
So,
but top the D's.
Yep.
All right. The dual shock.
All right. So I know we talked about this. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast before, but I always have kind of feelings about this one because of what Sony was doing at the time. You know, they were still kind of mad and competing with Nintendo. And every time Nintendo did something, they made fun of it. It's we got Final Fantasy VII because can you imagine what Nintendo would have done with it? They would have edited it and everything. And then they went and made Xenogears and edited out almost half the content of that game. But we won't talk about that.
That's another topic for the podcast.
Yeah, but they're making fun of the N64 controller originally when the PlayStation comes out because it has a stupid analog stick. Who wants to use an analog stick? Who does anything analog anymore? We are in the digital age, my friend. You don't want to analog something. And a rumble pack? Who wants to do that crap? Who wants their controller to shake? Like, seriously, who wants that? And then, as time goes by, not only do they put shaking in their controller, they put 2 sticks on there.
We got 2 of them. Y'all like the first one, right? Y'all like one.
Uh-huh.
We got 2 of them.
Now, to be fair, the DualShock did set the stage for pretty much every 3D game controller after that. Because
they definitely did something there.
Imagine playing 3D games without 2 sticks.
Yeah.
One to move and one to,
look
point
around.
the camera and stuff. Yeah. Which the N64 kind of had because it had the C buttons that can be used for actions and also to move that controller.
Right.
So basically they just moved it to another analog stick. So I will give it points for that. So yeah, all that being said, C+.
So this is just a better version of the previous controller.
Yeah.
And it just looks right to me. So it's pretty much everything Nolan said. I'm gonna give it a C.
And I've never cared for Sony's analog sticks either. I've always felt like they were too loose.
They are kind of loose.
Yeah.
They're a little loosey goosey.
Yeah.
I'm right there with a C. As a kid playing this, I never understood if the analog stick was on or not because a red light. What do you mean red light means it's on?
Oh, I forgot all about the red light.
And then it'll be off. So when it's off, it's still working because your controller ain't working correctly.
Yeah, so I'm right there with the C. All right, so that brings us the Dreamcast controller.
The DC.
The DC. So, the Dreamcast controller. I love the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was one of my favorite systems of all time. Anybody who knows me knows. And anybody who loved Capcom fighting games in the late 90s, early 2000s, if you had a Dreamcast, you were in heaven. Arcade perfect version of Street Fighter Alpha 3, or arcade perfect version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Better than arcade versions of DOA 2 and Soul Calibur. I mean, come on, man. The Dreamcast itself was awesome. This controller kind of sucked. Not gonna lie. I like the analog stick, but there was only one. Mm-hmm. I even liked the D-pad. Wasn't the best, but I felt like I still had more control than like over the Saturn. So it was, to me, the pad was an improvement over the Saturn. because they use the cross thing, but I believe they bought it from Nintendo. They licensed the cross pad to use it on this. This was their last console anyway. I did like the
That's why it was the last console.
I did like the VMU thing. You know, the
VMU was fucking cool.
Yeah, the VMU was cool. You know, some games used it to its fullest, like Sonic Adventure and Seaman and wait, did Seaman use it? No. What am I thinking of? Something else did a lot of stuff with it.
Sure, it wasn't Seaman.
No, because I think the Seaman didn't it use both for like the microphone?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
But you might have been able to move stuff up. Either way, Tech Romancer had unlockable stuff if you did the little VMU game things. Yeah. So a lot of cool ideas, but functionality wise, it was weird because after the DualShock comes out, it kind of feels like a step backwards, and that's just Sega kind of being in the past a little bit. But again, I can't really fault it that much. So I'll go C- on that one.
Okay, so I'm with you, Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Dreamcast. It's so underappreciated, and it's one of the best systems. That controller is fucking weird though. It's the coolest thing. I love the VMU. The VMU is fucking badass.
Cool. Yeah.
But also, isn't it the power cable on this controller on the bottom?
Yes.
So that's another weird choice.
That was weird.
If it wasn't for the VMU, this was probably one of the. I hate to say it, but it's probably one of the worst controllers.
Yeah.
So I think I'd probably give it a D. That cord placement is just so weird to me.
I guess because they couldn't figure out, it was either put the cord over the VMU slots,
right,
or make it even
VMU,
more bulky underneath the VMU slots. So it's like, hey, we'll just put it in the front. But then when you put it down, you got the controller bent underneath it. Yeah, it was weird.
So yeah, I'd give it a D.
See, I'm right there around the C spot. I never really played it a whole lot when it first came out. It was more me playing it after the fact. But the VMUs were fucking cool.
Yeah.
I remember the VMUs when they first came out and seeing like I had one friend that had a Dreamcast and he'd bring that shit to school. I'm like, that shit was so fucking cool.
I'm so jealous.
So let's put it bottom of C.
Okay.
PS2 controller.
The DualShock 2. Now, this thing was definitely an improvement over the DualShock, but not by much to me.
It still had the fucking button to turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember hitting that button though. It just seemed like it worked no matter what. If it was a game that was going to use it,
you could turn it off though, which is weird to me.
Which I don't know why.
Why would you turn off parts of your controller?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you just not put your thumbs down there? But the thing I liked about it the most over the DualShock 1 is that it had a little more heft to it.
Right.
It didn't feel as
cheap.
Yeah. They obviously put more work into it. The rumble was better. The analog controls were better. Like I said, I never liked the DualShock 1 because the analog stickers always felt too loose. And to be fair, the DualShock 2 felt loose too, but it felt better. I never felt like I had as good control on a PlayStation controller, even the DualShock 2, as I did on other analog controllers. But it was a definite improvement over the DualShock 1, so I'll go like B-.
That's not the right controller.
Huh?
Oh, I thought you was moving the Xbox controller to move it up. I really like this controller. It's probably
it was attached to a great console. So.
It's true. It could be part of it. It's one of the greatest consoles.
Yeah.
But this might be either my first or second favorite Sony controller, PlayStation controller.
It's probably my second.
Yeah, I could definitely see second. I think I'd give this an A. I really like this controller.
What'd you give it on?
A B.
A B.
I was going to say C, so let's put it at the B. See, like there's my favorite.
Actually, it's my third. I don't think.
It's not my favorite Sony controller.
No.
It's actually probably my fourth favorite controller. It's just above the PlayStation 1 controller.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Duke.
The Duke. The old Xbox.
Big boy.
Original Xbox controller.
Boy.
Original Xbox. So,
I love this thing.
now, I'll tell you what. This says it all. I'll never forget E3, one of the first E3s that were like on TV. It was they like, you know, aired on G4, and they had the wrestler, the Big
Good
Show.
times.
They had the wrestler, the Big Show, in the Xbox booth, and they put the Duke in his hands. This is one of the largest, like seriously, one of the largest men on earth, and he says, "Feels kind of big, doesn't it?" I think that says
That's
everything
great.
you need to know.
That's awesome.
About this controller. You know, I enjoyed my Xbox. You know, I did not like the button placement. That black and white button, I felt like the A, B, X, and Y, fine. I could get to one of those whenever I wanted. I never felt like I could get to the black and white buttons. They were just a little too far over and up. They didn't feel like they were next to them. They felt like they were kind of jammed in and corner ways and small. I never understood why they were even there. Why didn't they just have, you know, shoulder buttons like the other controller? The analog stick felt good. Even the control pad felt good, and it worked for what it was. And I did like the way it felt in my hands, but again, it was
big.
big.
It's a big one.
It's a big boy.
Yeah.
Little thickums.
Yeah. So this one I would you know what, I'm gonna go see.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't hate it, but
I like to have a little meat in my hands.
Oh yeah, you like them thick.
yeah, but again,
Thick.
when the Big Show said it was too big, okay, so
That's funny.
it's not just me.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I fucking hated this controller when I first interacted with it. But as I play with it more, it's actually I like the way it feels a lot. It's got a good. It is big, but it's got a good. It's got a good.
Feel good in your hand.
It felt good.
Yeah.
It's got a good.
Felt
heft
good
to it.
ergonomics.
Yeah. The thing I hate most about this controller is probably those damn black and white.
Yeah, the
buttons.
black and white buttons. I couldn't.
And
see
they
them.
fixed it with the S controller.
So I don't know if I didn't like the placement more, or if I didn't like the fact that they're just black and white buttons.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
And it never stuck in my head which one was the top one and the
Yeah.
bottom one, because the button would show up as a prompt or something. And I'm like, now I'm looking at the controller to figure out which one was. Yeah, it just never made sense to me.
So I wound up enjoying it more as I played it. So this one probably be a C. But the next, I think the next Microsoft controller is probably gonna be much higher.
Yeah.
So I have this at a B for me. So we'll put that towards the top of C-ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I like the controller. It was good. Again, the black and white button's a weird spot, but they fixed it with the next controller that we're going to talk about, which was the Microsoft original Xbox S controller. They moved the black and white buttons below the A and B buttons.
I don't think I've ever interacted with this controller.
Really?
Maybe like once.
Oh no, this thing.
So I don't. I didn't play a whole lot of original Xbox, unfortunately, because I never knew anybody that had it, except for my roommate in college. That's when I played it mostly. And then there was a LAN center in Mobile that had it. We played a lot of Dead or Alive on it. But that was the original controller. I don't think I've ever really even touched this controller before, so I can't really say.
Yeah, the S controller was like, yeah, this I love this controller. They had the staggered analog sticks, and the original Xbox is when shooting games kind of became bigger on consoles, because you had GoldenEye, but then Halo of course came out, and that was kind of that was
and
it.
everything was supposed to be the Halo killer.
Yeah, and but like
nothing ever was.
A lot of FPSI started moving from PCs to consoles because of Halo, and this was just the movement of that analog stick to the top. Because
made all the difference.
Because this is what kind of made it to where, yes, that left stick is going to be your main mode of operation because you're playing first person shooters now mostly on this thing. So, that's what everybody's going to be using. Let's go ahead and put it there. And I remember when I first saw it thinking it was going to be kind of weird moving my thumb down to go to the D-pad, but it wasn't that weird at all. And the buttons just felt better. Everything about this controller felt better, even though it was smaller. Even with somebody with big hands, the Duke was just a little too big. But yeah, this thing was just a huge improvement. Again, the staggered analog sticks it's kind of changed the way everything kind of worked after that. So for all that, I'd probably give this one a A.
Nice.
For me, I don't have it quite as an A because of the controller after it in the Microsoft line. Mm-hmm. This is a B for me because it's definitely better than the Duke. For all the same reasons that you said, it was such a comfortable controller, especially for those all night Halo LAN sessions. Mm-hmm. This controller was made for first person shooters.
Yep.
And all of Microsoft controllers that thereafter have been made for first person shooters. So B, well, you said an A.
I said A.
And Steven neglected to answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't. I'm not.
All right, we'll stay at the back end of A.
So
Yeah, it seems like a good spot.
A.
All right, GameCube,
GC.
So, following the N64 and kind of continuing on with their idea of we're going to make.
Let's make it weird.
Games based on our controller.
Right.
So that's really what they did with N64. They came up with the idea, they came up with the controller, and then everything had to kind of fit around it. Of course, this is coming after the PS2, where game developers are used to kind of a standard controller because now the Xbox is out and controllers are pretty much the same. And here's Nintendo kind of having another idea where they, instead of the C buttons, now they got the C stick. But what's the button most folks use for a game? What's the button you hit the most?
It's probably gonna be the A button.
Yeah. So let's make it the focal point on this controller. Because you're going to hit the A button the most. And then we'll just put the B button right next to that because that's usually the next thing. And then, the auxiliary buttons, we'll put it around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we'll also have the analog stick, up on the top.
Right.
Staggered.
Because that's just a good idea.
Yeah.
But we won't make our right analog stick an analog stick in the same way.
We'll just make it sort of.
It's sort of more of an 8-way hat because it's going to be used for cameras.
Controlling cameras.
We're going to C stick because, we had the camera buttons. Now we got the camera stick. And you know what? We are going to revolutionize shoulder buttons. Our shoulder buttons are going to click.
So you
analog, click.
Oh.
So now you can do analog controls and add an extra thing at the end.
Okay.
So,
It's the happy ending.
Yeah.
Hey, that click is very satisfying.
Yep. Still got the good old fashioned Nintendo cross pad design and everything. And you know what? We already got rid of the select button. We're going to make the start button even smaller.
There you go. You don't need to. You don't gonna press it anyway.
You barely even press it anyway.
You don't press that A
button.
button.
Just one little gray button in the middle and it's fine. Obviously, this did not go over well with third parties who were like, why is this controller so different? And you're actually missing a couple of buttons because everything has 2 shoulder buttons at this rate.
Right.
And now you have less shoulder buttons. And don't tell me it's the click. Oh, wait, I forgot. There's a Z button. There's one Z shoulder button.
That's probably the worst thing about this controller is that Z button.
Yeah.
To me.
Me, it's the X and Y. I hate the fucking X and Y button on this controller.
So, again, for games that were made for it,
but you know what?
Zeldas,
this
all
was
that stuff.
This is the Smash Brothers controller.
Oh yeah. This is
to this day
the de facto Smash controller.
Even for me who don't play Smash, I rather play Smash on a GameCube controller.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So functionality wise, for Nintendo games, this thing was actually really good. I think this is still one of my top analog sticks.
It's comfortable too.
Of all controllers, it is comfortable.
Yep, that's what
the
I was gonna
analog
say.
stick is really good. The left analog.
The
stick is really
ergonomics
good.
of this controller are top notch.
Yeah, felt great. It was a great design and everything.
I just hate the fucking X and Y button.
And playing third party games on this thing was not always fun because the X and Y button placement and
This could be an S controller if it had the Super Nintendo YXAB buttons.
Yeah. They could easily make this a S controller with a few tweaks.
yeah. So
It's a B for me.
I'll probably give it a C.
All right, so me, gosh, I hate to show Nintendo bias because it seems like I am, but I really
You're a
don't want-
Nintendo boy, so
No,
it's
I'm not
okay.
Nintendo boy, okay? But I really love this controller, but I can see its faults.
Yeah.
But it's like Nolan
I'm the
said,
same way. Yeah.
If you play a Nintendo game, a Nintendo made game with this controller, you would think like, okay, this is the way the game should be. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Like it's
makes
perfect.
sense.
It's made
Your
perfect
fingers
sense.
go right where you think they
Yeah.
should. Yeah.
But I can see the limitations of it, and it could easily be better. Me personally, if they got rid of the Z button or put it in another spot,
Or added a Z1 and Z2 so you have two shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
So more third parties would put the games on your console.
right? Exactly. But like Zach said, this is one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever held. It feels good in your hand. It's got a good weight. So I want to give it an A, but I think it probably really deserves a B.
There.
Yep, that sounds good.
All right. PlayStation 3 controller.
PlayStation.
The
Now-
DualShock 3 or the
So
6
we-
axis.
this
six-
is the 6 axis.
Oh,
I don't
6
know.
axis. Okay, we're gonna assume
Wait,
it's
I'm
six
about to say,
axis.
if it's the 6 axis, this is the only. You know what?
That's
This is
right.
the
There's
only,
two
like,
different PS3 controllers, weren't there?
F I'm giving.
Yeah,
actually.
there was.
The 6 axis.
I don't
was-
think this is a 6 axis though.
I think that's a DualShock 3.
What does it
Yeah.
say on there? Can you
I
see?
I can't.
It's
but
on
it
the-
looks
I
like a
think it's written on
DualShock
the
3.
top.
Okay.
Yeah, it's written like right here.
Yeah.
Let's say this is the DualShock 3.
Okay.
Because we all hate the 6 axis, right?
6 axis. I thought
It's
about.
an F,
I can't
right?
imagine giving any controller a fail, but you know what? 6 axis, I would fail that thing. Now, DualShock 3. It was such an improvement over the six axis that it feels like just at first thought I'm giving it a higher score than what it probably deserves. But that was only because the 6 axis was so bad. You want to talk about a controller that felt like a toy?
Bro,
It was that thing like it felt like nothing.
You don't
your
like
hand.
your controller feeling like a toy when you spent $600 for the system?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like a two pieces of plastic and just like one like wire sticking out. That was it.
is
There was nothing
seriously.
inside.
And you remember, the reason was because at the time a technology company sued all the major console
For the Rumble feature, right?
manufacturers. Yes, because of the technology they were using to make their controllers shake. They actually created but never got any kind of money for.
And Microsoft and Nintendo
Microsoft
paid
and
for them.
Nintendo were like, "Hey, you know what? You're right. Here's back money that we owed or whatever, and because we want to keep using it." Sony was like, we ain't paying you nothing.
Nah.
So they went on a marketing campaign to let everybody to tell everybody that rumbling controllers was a thing of the past. That's old gen stuff. You don't want that stuff.
You want to be able to
You want to be able to
move your
twist
controller.
and turn and not but the real reason that that the 6 axis was so bad and they tried to push it over the ability to shake because they didn't want to pay that company that money. So that's why you got a hollowed out shell that was the horrible six axis, which flopped miserably. Everybody hated the six axis controller so much that Sony
Factor
was
5
finally
went
like,
out of business because of it. Son of a bitch.
Man, I know they just sit back and think, man, we should have just made Rogue Squadron 4.
Should have just made
Shoulda
Rogue
just
Squadron
made
4.
Rogue Squadron 4. So with that out of the way, I still didn't care for the analog sticks of the DualShock 3. It was nice to have the weight back, but I mean, to me, it just kind of came back to the default of what a PlayStation controller was. So Still didn't like the analog sticks. Actually felt like the analog sticks on the 3 were even more loose than the 2s were. So yeah, what did I put in PlayStation 2? I think I had it like a C+, so I probably put it at a C.
Yeah, I do the same. This, I mean, it's nothing really special about it. I mean, it is better than the 6-axis, but you know, that's
not saying much.
Other than that, it's pretty kind of, to me, it's basically the same. I mean, it's
Yeah.
wireless, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when they started doing that.
Would you say what, Nolan?
C.
Or you can give it
C.
C? Wow. All right. So this was probably one of my favorite Sony controllers.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe it's just because that's what we played like all of our sports games on and fighting games at the time. That's when, I guess that's when me, Darius, and Steven really became friends, and Jonathan became friends.
Yeah,
was around this
3.
time. So maybe I have it up higher than it should be because of that.
Well, see, my NES controller is that's kind of part of mine.
Yeah.
The PlayStation or the 360 controller.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it a B.
Okay.
So that puts it at the top of the C's, maybe
That's fine.
somewhere right here.
Somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
somewhere around there. That's good.
All right, the 360 controller. I'm gonna start off this one saying this is probably still one of the best controllers ever made. This is an Easy S. I put it in as far as the design of it, right next to the Super Nintendo controller. It's what and to Sony's credit and to Microsoft's credit, they really haven't changed their controller that much compared to what Nintendo has done over the years. Once they kind of figured out what they wanted, they've kind of sticking to it. I think the PS5 controller for Sony is probably their biggest change out of all their controllers.
Definitely.
But the Microsoft, pretty much since the 360, like they pretty much stick with the same thing over and over and over. And because the 360 was so good, there was no reason to change it. So it's an S for me.
Okay. I mean, I pretty much echo most of those sentiments there. The only thing you talk about playing like all your fighting games and stuff on the PS3. See, I played all mine on Xbox 360. You know, Street Fighter 4 came out and kind of brought fighting games back, and then of course the wave of games that came after it. And I actually went back and got arcade sticks because the only issue that this controller had, and it was only specifically for fighting games, is that D-pad sucks for fighting games.
Yeah, that's why I played it on PlayStation, because I like the D-pad of the DualShock 3.
Yeah, but everything else, this thing was just like perfection right out of the box. I mean, you know, think about it. They never changed the controller once. There was never an upgrade or nothing like that. This thing was just great. I love the sticks on it. I love the buttons on it. I love the triggers and the shoulder buttons. Just everything about this controller was great. So
the thing about this era too is something they've kind of gotten away from in years past is all the cool special edition systems, which also accompany special edition controllers.
Yeah.
Right.
All the design controllers, the McFarlane Halo controllers they did for the 360 are fantastic. And then, like I said, all the special edition consoles that come with the special edition controllers.
Yeah.
They weren't just color swaps. They were like designed specifically for the game with the cog for gears or Halo stuff on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely give it I'd probably give it an A+, only because the next one is actually, I think, was a little better. But yeah.
What, the Wii remote?
No. The next Xbox controller, but yeah.
So me, I think I'd have to give this one an S, because this was the first one. This is what I really got into Xbox with. I started playing Call of Duty with this controller. I think for what it does, it's like one of the best design controllers. Feels good, looks good. The buttons make sense. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it deserves an S.
All right. PS4 controller. Right? Yeah, PS4 controller.
Yep, PS4.
DualShock 4. So
I don't know why it's there. I think the Wii came out before the PS4, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it did.
All right, let's do the Wii first. Because the Wii was during the 360 era.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so it's different. No, so
all right, so there's some breaking news.
oh shit.
Toriyama just passed away.
What?
Ooh, wait. Which Toriyama?
Akira Toriyama?
Akira Toriyama?
Yeah, Dragon Ball creator.
Dang.
Dang.
He passed away at 68 years old. RIP to a legend.
Damn.
Man.
Well,
sorry to break the sad news.
have it happen eventually. I appreciate you ruining. I'm not gonna make a joke during that.
I knew you were getting old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he was trying to not as work as much.
Yeah.
Dang.
Which, I mean, he's done so much. It's like,
I know. Like,
just go away and enjoy.
That was
it.
given to us by Darius, so you can blame Darius.
appreciate that, Darius.
Thanks. Just bring the whole
But
thing down.
you know, it's still we need to know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm sure the next episode we'll do a little.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit
little
about Dragon
round table, a
Ball.
little tribute. Everybody get their thoughts together and all
I'm
that
sure
good
he'll
stuff.
get a big thing.
Oh
in
yeah,
Japan,
it's
'cause,
going to be a
mean,
big thing.
Yeah, I mean, culturally over
Oh,
there, he's
yeah.
got to be one of the biggest.
He
artists.
affected over here too.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
bro,
I mean, around
like-
the world.
dude,
Yeah.
anime wouldn't be what it was today.
Dragon
Here.
Ball like changed everything. This is about to turn into an
Exactly.
Toriyama.
Let's go ahead and
episode.
add
Be
another
careful.
hour to the podcast.
Now we'll save it all for next week.
All right, we'll
for
save it for next.
week.
We'll
Yeah.
save it for next
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna say rest in peace.
Yeah.
Hope you get the rest that you wanted.
Yeah.
Hope you find your way on Snake Road.
Come on, man. Why you gotta say that? Golly. Damn it. Okay.
So anyway.
So what were we talking about? The Wiimote?
The Wii remote.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a controller, it's fucking weird. It's stupid. But I'm just gonna say
It's like every time we talked about a Nintendo controller, it starts with, this is
weird-
fucking weird.
We're getting to the weird area.
we get into the weird.
Yeah.
So
We've been getting to it. We've been at the weird era with
This-
Nintendo for the last two consoles.
this thing is it's an actual remote. It's not a controller, but the remote part is good. Yeah, what that's a nunchuck. It's a nunchaku. Oh, with a nunchuck? Yeah, you're right. It's so weird, man. But when it's pointing and you're doing the thing, it works, and it made like a cultural phenomenon. But I'm still gonna.
So that was the console itself. It had nothing to do with
as far as the actual.
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
it was
as far-
motion controls, yes.
I'll give you the, as far
It
as
was
the
ahead of its
actual-
time.
It was.
Yeah.
But it's just I gotta give it probably a D, because if you're not using, I don't know, because I played like Skyrim.
Twilight Princess was really good with
Twilight
it.
Princess
Twilight
with
Princess
it.
was really good with it.
Golly, I can't.
Wii
Fuck
bowling.
you, Nintendo. Like it's so bad, but it's also so good at the same time.
Yeah.
But is that the games bringing out the good in the controller, or because the controller is good? I think it's more of the games bringing out the good in the controller.
I could be, because I mean those games would be good with it, no matter what controller.
Yeah, if you play those games with GameCube controllers, would they be just as
But
good?
I mean, being able to like especially with Skyward Sword, being able to pretty much 1-for-1 do sword slashes, that is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Skyward Sword is probably one of the
But they also took that away. You can't do that in
And yeah, in the remake,
Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, can you, with the Joy-Cons?
No, you can't.
No.
Strictly design speaking, button layouts and stuff like that, it's probably like a D or an F.
So
But functionality, like it actually doing what it does, I probably have to give it like an A or a B.
So the nunchuck feels like the middle part of the N64 controller, which
Yeah.
is probably the best part of the N64 controller.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the nunchuck is that it felt really cheap. The actual shell, the actual the analog stick felt really good, but the shell around it felt kind of cheap. Dang, I don't know what to give this.
It's a weird one.
It is a weird
It's a
one.
weird one. Yeah.
And it's probably not a D or a F design wise, but I just
Here.
it's a weird one. There you go. I'll take that one. Well, let's put it there. That's my vote. It's a weird one.
Put it there.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally loved it.
Yeah.
But it goes back to Nintendo was still good doing the design philosophy for their controllers of let's come up with what our
flagship games are going to be.
Yeah, what we're going to design it around.
Because it was fucking great for Mario Galaxy.
Motion controls is what we want to do. We're going to make a controller designed around the idea of
Wii
motion
Sports
controls. Wii Sports,
bro.
I told you, I had freaking Wii bowling elbow.
Yeah,
my shoulder and my elbow were killing me because I was putting so much spin on that ball.
But you could contribute that to the system, I guess. I mean, that's the functionality of the system.
But I actually like the nunchuck. The nunchuck.
This is the best part.
Was the best part of it. The button placement on the remote was,
not ideal.
No,
not ideal. Yeah, but it worked.
Like if you try to play a game sideways.
And the idea of which sounded kind of silly.
Well, sideways made it look like an NES controller,
right.
essentially.
Yeah, which actually did work too. And to be fair, the Wii as well as the Wii U both had normalish controllers too. But
but you had to attach it to the Wii remote for the Wii.
Yeah, you did. But this also added the idea of what did they call it at the time? 3D sound or something like that, or
yeah.
Where they put the little speaker
on the controller
remote, which sounded kind of
the speaker was cool.
Did Sony make fun of Nintendo for doing it and then add it to their PS4 controller?
Hey man,
I don't remember Sony.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
I can neither confirm nor deny that Sony made fun of it at some point and then ended up doing it. But you see, everybody's kind of doing it now, especially Sony. Because again, I said it before. It would start the trend of Sony doing whatever Nintendo did.
One thing with this controller, I will say this: with the speaker, I played No More Heroes on the Wii.
Yeah,
and the chick, she'll give you a phone call, and then you're supposed to put the controller up to your ear like an actual cell phone. That was kind of cool.
It was kind of cool. It was like
it's a weird one, man.
It felt like a cheap gimmick, but you know what? When games actually used it, right, it was
nice.
Actually really cool. Yeah. Like the Zelda games, you would hear certain things only on the remote and not on the speakers, and So for me, I say it's a B actually, because I think it was just such form, not maybe not so much, but function.
It worked when it worked. It did its job.
When it worked very well. And of course, Sony would copy it with their own Move controllers on the PS3 and those things.
We're awful.
Yeah. So, it did what it did. So I say B personally.
I'm going to leave it where it's a weird one because to me, it could be either a F or an A.
Or an A, yeah. And it does kind of depend on what you're what you're comparing it for.
All right. PS4 controller.
So for me, this was the first PlayStation controller I liked.
Yeah.
The analog sticks finally felt good. And I don't know if it was because... Well, it was because they were a little more tight, so I finally felt like I had more control over whatever I'm doing in 3D with it. But the sticks themselves were like concave now,
right?
And I think I liked the concaveness of it. Just made it feel better. I still don't like that the sticks are at the bottom, but that's just a Sony thing at this point. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to.
The D-pad felt better. The buttons felt better. The shoulder buttons are actually really good. The PS4 controller to me was the first good Sony controller. So I would actually give it I'd actually give it an A actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite PlayStation controller, I think. Although I really do like the PS5 controller, but I think this is probably overall the better controller. So I'll give it an A.
Touchpad.
The PS4 controller is probably the best Sony controller until the PS5 controller came out. I really like the PS5 controller. Yeah. What do you rate it?
I'd give it an A.
I'm going to give it a B, so we'll probably put it right there.
Okay.
The Wii U gamepad.
I might be in the minority here, but I actually love this stupid thing.
Yeah, it actually felt good.
It actually felt good in your hand.
I thought it was going to be too big, and awkward, but it actually felt comfortable.
Yeah, and that seemed to be kind of the thing. Everybody kind of was like expecting one thing, but when they actually get it in your hands and your fingers go right where
Like,
it's
oh, it's
supposed
not-
to, it's like,
it's not as bad as I
actually
thought it
not
was
so
gonna
bad.
be.
It's not super heavy.
Yeah.
And I actually liked the whole, move the game from the TV screen to this. I actually use that
Right.
kind of often because every now and then I want to watch something on TV, but I'm still playing the game. So
Yeah.
bloop, move the game over to the Game Pass screen, change the TV to something else. I'm good. I'm kind of surprised they never used it more to simulate like TV versions of 3DS games or just DS games because
Right.
you had two
Had two
screens.
top screens,
But
yeah.
I think that it probably would have been too much info for the console to try to send in HD because this was their first HD console
Right,
too.
right.
But yeah, this thing came to the bathroom with me. It came to the microwave with me while I'm making my dinner and I'm still playing my game over next to it. So I actually enjoyed this thing. I think it was a good idea.
Tech just wasn't quite.
Yeah, mired in I don't want to say a bad console because the Wii U was actually a really good.
No, the
console.
Wii U is a good console.
No, it was.
It was.
Its faults
Purely on marketing.
marketing
yeah.
and their discs are terrible.
Oh yeah, you're talking about those. It wasn't Blu-rays, but it was like in between Blu-ray and DVD.
because they still didn't want to do something that was so easily.
Yeah,
so
but
easily
you can fucking look at them
copyable or
wrong
whatever.
and they won't work.
I never really had issues with my disc, but I know some folks did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Nolan. This thing.
Would you give it a Nolan?
Yeah, you didn't get done, did you?
You know what? I'm gonna give it an A.
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed it.
It worked way better than you thought it would. Like if you think about the technology now, this is where it kind of started with the whole like Switch and stuff like that, and it's kind of it's kind of impressive when you think about it. It's a shame that it got cut so short, the lifespan of it, just because of
Everything
marketing
else around it.
Yeah, but it did lead to the Switch. So, but I had a lot of fun with it. I remember playing Xenoblade Chronicles X with it, having fun. Yeah. So I'll give it a B. I liked it a lot. It wasn't too heavy. It wasn't too light either. It was nice.
Like I said when Nolan was talking about it, I enjoyed this controller. It felt remarkably comfortable for how big it was. I gave it a B. Would you give it a Steven?
B.
Okay, so it's probably high B's.
That's fine.
Is it above the GameCube?
Yeah.
Okay. It has a fucking screen on it.
For
I guess.
me, anyway. Heck, the GameCube might actually go down there to it's a weird one. Think about
You
it.
could put it as a weird one.
A
Yeah.
lot of Nintendo's controllers
Yeah.
could be in this category.
Yeah.
There's at least 3 of them you could put down there.
Yeah.
All right. The Xbox One controller and effectively the Series X controller, they're really the same controller.
No, they aren't really. I don't think so.
I mean, there's more grip on the Series X controller and they added the share button.
Oh, I think the Series X button is miles better, personally. Now, the Xbox One controller is good. It had a better D-pad for fighting games. Still not great, but it was a cross pad.
We'll get there eventually.
It wasn't as sharp, and it wasn't the rocker anymore. It was a cross D-pad, but it felt like it was easier to do like fighting game motions on it and stuff like that. It was a slightly improved 360 controller with the ergonomics and everything. It had the resistance in the analog.
Yeah.
Trigger buttons that was kind of cool, especially for racing games, shooting games too. Yeah. So overall a good controller. So A.
Okay. This is a very good controller. I don't like it as much as the 360 controller. I think it may be a better.
Oh yeah, I did want to bring up one thing.
Go ahead.
The only thing about it over the 360 controller had it over. There was something about the way the top of the controller was designed, and I don't know if it was just because my hands were big, but I always find myself accidentally hitting the shoulder buttons. And I don't know if it's just the placement of the shoulder buttons or whatever it was, but I would find myself accidentally clicking those shoulder buttons very often. So I'll just put that in there.
I just don't like the shape of it as much as the 360 controller.
Mm-hmm.
But I think
It's a little bit more bulky.
a little bit more bulky. I think I prefer the slimmer version of the 360 controller, but it is a really good controller. I probably put it as I think I put it as a B.
I think the bulk came from the extra resistant stuff for the trick.
Where'd you put it on?
A.
Yeah, I'm somewhere between A and B on it. Now that you mention it, yeah, it is a little bit more different than the Series X controller. I've been using the Elite controller pretty much since the Xbox One, so I have. If you get the option, get the Elite controller. I like the weight of it and the extra back buttons and stuff like that. All right, the Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons are
They're cool.
They're cool.
They're cool.
I like the rumble in them.
The rumble is really nice. That HD rumble that they're using.
The haptic
feedback rumble.
It's soft.
Yeah.
But it is very like you ever play that was a 1-2 switch?
Yeah.
1-2-3 switch
Oh,
game
yeah. Mm-hmm.
where you do like certain things and like the ice hitting the glass.
Right,
and it actually feels like it feels like the ice is rolling around in there. So that's really cool. And the fact that going to function wise, you turn them sideways in the Xbox controllers. Now they're very small controllers.
Great for kids.
That's probably the worst part of them.
I've been at houses with kids or bringing my Switch or playing somebody else's Switch, and hey, we're short a controller or two. Guess what? Slip. Turn it around.
We got two extra controllers,
it may not
baby.
be the best way to do it, but
we'll play some Mario with it.
It's
play some Mario.
It works in the clutch.
Yeah, it's good in the jam. And every now and then I will pull them off and use it like the old Wii controller.
Yeah.
And it feels like having a none.
When you want to do like super lazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like those
because that's exactly how I used to play Breath of the Wild. I get home from work and I just be tired and I just pull them up and just lay back and I just be playing it. I can have my hands
separated.
Yeah, I can have my hands separated and just
play go starfish.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah.
They're good controllers.
They're great. Form, they may be a little small, but it's a handheld console kind of at base.
You can add the rail to it to make them a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Or you can put them in the holder and it's like a regular controller.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about these,
go
ahead and finish your.
I'll probably go. I'm between a B and an A on it, so like a A minus.
So the thing I like about these controllers is it's kind of like what y'all mentioned. There's so many ways that you could play with them. You could play with them separately, together in the holder. And there's so many different holders that you can buy. To
get the right form factor that you want.
It's just so many of them, and then they got really cool designs with them.
They come multicolored or black and white.
And also they're like colors you wouldn't expect, like pastel and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's a different selection of colors. They are a little bit too small for me. I don't like them. And stick drift is really bad with them.
Yes, the first iteration. It was like the red ring of death for the 360 and stick drift with the Joy-Cons. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. They're so versatile though. I can't help but rate them pretty high. So I'd give them a B.
And again, I'm right there in the middle. I think I'm going to put them in the bottom of A. Okay. The Pro controller for the Switch. And effectively, wasn't it pretty much the same for the Wii U?
More or less.
Yeah.
The Switch one is better.
Yeah.
It's got a little more heft to it.
Yeah. It feels more high quality.
Good. That battery lasts forever. Sticks feel good. Buttons feel good.
It's basically what you wanted the GameCube controller to be.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my preferred way of playing Switch games with the Pro controller.
Yeah.
But outside of that, nothing spectacular about it. But everything it does well. Yeah. So this is
an A for me.
Yeah, I'll give it
A.
A like where?
You know what? I would put it in front of the Xbox One controller.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right here?
360.
Whoop. Come back. Right here?
Yeah.
PS5 DualSense controller.
All right. This is, to me, the number one controller
Sony's ever made.
Sony's ever made.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
And I love the way it feels. This is like really one of the only controllers I feel like in my big hands. It feels right.
It feels like a next gen controller.
Yeah. It does feel like
it better as much as these things cost.
Oh, bro, you might as well buy a game for the price of the controller.
Yeah,
because they're like $70 brand new, aren't they?
$70.
Yep. Analog sticks feel good. The touchpad is like stuff that uses the touchpad on it. It's like the best touchpad they've ever had. I love the little lights around it that changes when stuff goes on. The speaker on it's good. It's got a built-in mic that everybody's got to remember to turn that mug off unless you want everybody to hear some weird stuff going on in your house.
Yeah.
Shoulder buttons. The haptic feedback on the trick.
It's great.
Triggers is
I was so worried when they first talked about that, and then the first time you feel it, it's like, oh, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it's funny because when we were at the shop, people were like, I think the triggers are stuck or broken.
Yeah.
No, you
It's supposed to
need
feel that
no.
way.
Yeah, you need. There's a little resistance now.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a lot of resistance there.
Yeah, depending on what you're doing.
The first time it happened to me, I played first game I played on my PS5 was Spider-Man. And, they added the resistance to when you do certain things. So I thought the same thing. I was like, this must be what they're talking about. I thought it was broke. I'm like, why does it feel like this? Oh, man, this thing is broke. But no, I realized that it was resisting me pulling it.
Yeah.
You got to pull it harder. And, so this is easy.
Yeah, pull it harder? No?
Yes.
I'm
You have to
talking
pull
about
it harder.
Pulling harder.
Hard to get hard.
But this is easily the best controller Sony's ever made. It's an S.
This is probably their best controller. I really do like this controller. Nostalgia wise, I like the PS2 controller the most. But as far as just design goes, I think this is probably the best one.
Oh, one thing I do want to put in there that makes it a S minus. The batteries.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this thing dies within like 3 hours from a full charge.
Because of all the feedback and resistance. And
You know how much battery juice it takes to have those resistance?
Yeah, but my God, every time I played God of War in this thing, I felt like it's like I'm playing for like an hour and I have to plug it in.
You do.
Every freaking time. So that is my only real gripe about this thing. It dies so fast. But besides that, great.
But yeah, I'll give it an S. It's like you said, Zay, it feels like a next gen controller.
I have
Feels
this
like
as
the future.
a A+.
Okay.
So I say at the back of S.
You can put it as A.
Yeah.
All right. Last but not least, the Series X controller.
This is the one I find that I like the feel of the most.
Okay.
Of all the controllers. I know, that little grip on the back probably doesn't do anything for anybody
I
else.
like it.
For me, it just feels good.
Yes.
Feels good.
Feels like I've always got a good grip on it. It what? The controller?
Hey, yo.
Hey man, you wild for all these man.
Hey, yeah.
You just pull it a little harder with that grip you got on it?
Does it have haptic feedback on the
A little bit.
triggers?
Yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I hadn't played a lot of games that use it, I guess. But
It didn't seem like one of their.
Yeah, it does because I remember using it for Halo. No, wait. Did I play Halo with a controller? No, I played it with a mouse and keyboard. Never mind.
yeah, I played mouse and keyboard. Hey, I just thought about it. Yeah, I was like, wait, did I? No, I played mouse and keyboard. But everything I did, because now that I think about it, I play mostly like Game Pass games, and I play a lot of like indie, like side-scrolling games on it. So probably not the stuff that's using all
the triggers.
They ain't
Yeah.
using it.
But I love the D-pad on it. I love the way the D-pad feels.
It actually
nice
finally
D-pad.
has a decent D-pad.
Yeah.
Out of
Finally, after all
that's-
these years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see the share button, the Xbox button, it's like simple, but it just feels really good and it works really well. I think it's the best Xbox controller. It's my preferred controller on anything because a lot of times I have an Xbox One controller on my PC, but sometimes I'll go up front and get my Series X controller and take it back there just because I love
It is the best Microsoft controller, but it's not going to beat out the nostalgia of the 360.
Yeah, that's kind of my.
Because the 360 also was like the building blocks for this controller.
Yeah, clearly, but
The foundation.
It's the best.
It
Xbox controller.
is, but I'm like with Zach. It is the best controller that they got, but I can't put it above the 360.
I have
controller.
I can.
I have it between the
But that's
PS5
just
and
me.
the SNES controller.
Yeah, it's an S. So yeah, I'm fine with that.
Boom. There we
Now
have
look
it.
at that. Microsoft got 2 S's up there.
Yeah, they sure do.
I mean, they know how to make controllers.
They can make a good controller.
But everybody's represented at the top except for Sega.
Yeah.
Well, they
give enough time,
died.
they probably would have. They probably would have got
enough
up there.
time. Yeah. Where did we have that conversation? Was that at the con where we talked about, or was it on the show?
I think it was on the show.
About what happened if Sega didn't drop
That was on
out.
that was on the last
And
podcast.
how the Xbox probably wouldn't have existed because it would have been it probably would have been Sega's next console with Microsoft powering it. Yeah. Interesting times.
It's crazy.
Definitely.
But yeah,
That's the list.
there we go.
that's the list.
So if you disagree, I don't give a crap.
Yeah. So
No, but let us know.
anybody who want to see the Jaguar controller up there at the top,
Oh yeah, that was gonna be Nolan's F.
that would have been my F. Yeah,
If the Jaguar controller was up there.
that would have been my lowest graded one. I think it was so great. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that was it was
fun
nice little, and we pretty much agreed most of the part for
the most part.
For the most part,
Yeah.
I thought for sure there would be a few of them in there that we were have varying different opinions of, but in general, so it hasn't really been that many bad controllers.
Yeah, that's
no.
why I couldn't imagine putting
Not really bad
anything
ones.
below a C besides the Jaguar controller.
But yeah, anyway, that's I think that might be the end of it
Yeah, for this week.
for this week.
Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. We'll see y'all next week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Finger blast that bell icon for Darius.
Hey, hey, yo,
And with that, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
bye.